Doug Walker. You're watching The Crazy House, Crazy McCormick.
What up, y'all? Welcome to the show. I'm Crazy McCormick like you don't fucking know. Welcome to the Crazy House, another Sunday night. I am a little bit late. I had to take my little one back to his house and got caught up in conversation about what the show was going to be about tonight. And then her boyfriend came home, and I get along with him just great. Like, he's a great dude. And so, like, we, for some reason, started talking about, because my son ended up asking, hey, when Christmas comes around, can you get me the such and such game? And I'm like, dude, it's not even Halloween yet, all right? There are rules, all right? I think we need to embed it into his head that it is unwritten law that we do not talk about Christmas until after the fucking Black Friday wars at Walmart, okay? Like, that should be unwritten law, as far as I'm concerned. Rule number 1, we don't talk about Christmas. Rule number 2, we do not talk about Christmas until after Thanksgiving, and it's not even fucking Halloween. Why? All right, why are you concerned about this early? You know what I'm saying? So, with that out of the way, better late than never, right? How's everybody doing tonight? How was your week? All the things. I got to end this poll. Thank you guys for helping me out with the tech support. So I don't know exactly 100% how this is going to work out because OBS, which is the program that I use to run this fucking show, ended up doing a 32.0.0 update, and I tried streaming shit, and for some reason the audio quality for certain things fucked up immensely, especially with like the Elgato. So in the advanced settings, the audio properties, it'll show like a capture card or something like that. However, in order for me to hear it and for it to be broadcasted to, as an output, I have to audio monitor, change it to monitor and output. I can hear it when it's in monitor and output, but it's not on the stream for some fucking reason unless I turn the monitor off, in which that means that I can't hear it, but the audience can. So, I don't know. There was another update today, a 32.0.1, so maybe that might have fixed the issue, but I'm not 100%. So, then again, you know, what do you expect? It's my show, you know. There's always going to be something that's fucked up, like this right here. You know, like yeah, okay, yeah. Now I see where it's coming from. Okay. I don't know. For some reason, that actually looks better. You know what I'm saying? But, like, don't get me wrong, though. I love OBS, but every once in a while, I feel like I need to take a transition and change it over to Streamlabs. Because Streamlabs, I don't normally have this kind of issue. All right, I think that this is blue enough. I think, yeah, the white over there on the trim looks white enough. So I think I'm good with that. So welcome every single Neurospicy Tylenol-American that is sitting here watching my shit. Because let's face it, that is the Juggalo community is in a nutshell, is a bunch of Neurospicy Tylenol-Americans. And you can't tell me that I'm making shit up. I mean, the proof is right there in the fucking pudding. I've been watching a lot of TikTok this week, so you know for a fact that there's going to be some shit that we're going to have to fucking talk about. And one of the first things that I have to fucking talk about is apparently we had some other rapture that was supposed to go on. Did anybody hear about this? Apparently somewhere between the 22nd and the 23rd, there was supposed to be another rapture. And since we're all here, we're not the chosen ones of God. And, well, I mean, whatever, I guess. It's no biggie to me. However, I did come across a quick video that I wanted to share, and hopefully it fucking plays the audio correctly. It's just a very quick video about the rapture, and I thought this was hilarious enough that I wanted to share it with you, so here you go. Yeah, so if you don't know what that says, when the trumpets heralding the return of Jesus aren't necessarily the trumpets that you expected. And in the comments of this specific video on TikTok, not only did I say, actually, that's exactly what I would want to hear, but there's also about 50 or so pictures of Jesus Christ on a skateboard. If you know the song, you know the song. Here, I'll fucking play it again. Am doing everything I can, holding on to what I am, pretending I'm a Superman. Okay, who wants to play Tony Hawk? Show of hands, hand emojis in the chat, up in the air. Who wants to play some fucking Tony Hawk after listening to that twice? Especially since you've got Jesus Christ on a fucking skateboard coming down from the gates of heaven. Personally, I think that he would be doing a 50-50 rail grind down the stairway to heaven. And could you imagine the amount of points that he would get just doing that? He has perfect balance. All right. You know what? Just for the sake of audio checking, I'm gonna play it again. I didn't check the levels. So here I am, growing older all the time, looking older all the time, feeling younger in my mind. I'm trying to keep the ground on my feet. Seems the world is falling down around me. I played a lot of Tony Hawk on the PS1 back in the day. Loved the original especially. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have the physical copy of 1 and 2, but I do have 3 and 4, so I guess that's at least something. I had to get this because Bam Margera. I had to get this because I was one of the people that said that I would refuse to buy Tony Hawk 3 and 4 remake if they didn't put Bam Margera in the fucking game. And guess what they did? They put Bam Margera in the fucking game. If I remember correctly, Tony Hawk himself went to Activision and said, look, if you don't put Bam in this shit, I'm pulling my fucking name off this game. Don't fuck with the Birdman. And he's right. Don't fuck with the Birdman. Birdhouse represent, motherfucker. Which, hey, they're like, basically fucking Tony Hawk went in cosplaying as Tony Hawk. Now, before we get into some of the meat and berries, especially with the topic of this episode, because, yes, there's few fucking Juggalo things going on that I have interest in because I don't really want to advertise Twizzler or anything like that. But definitely got to give a mad shout out to the homie fucking Cali Green 2 Fresh. Even though your state fucking sucks, asshole, and your governor's legally retarded at this point, I love you. And thank you for posting stuff on fucking Fago Lovers for me to rip off. Now let's talk about some of these things that I did rip off because apparently, so even though I don't, like, the only time that I actually have to fucking do anything on this show is like very last minute. And it's mentally fucking exhausting. Sometimes, guys, sometimes the homies will hook me up with something every now and again, and sometimes I just have to fucking rush through shit. But let's talk about some 2 pieces of Juggalo news that I came across that I thought was very interesting. And the first thing is this. If you guys do not know what this is, I don't know what to tell you except this is the homie Shade Hecka coming out with a new album, Forgotten Number 2. All right, it's a continuation of his first Forgotten album, 10 tracks, and it's got quite a few good fucking guest spots in there. One of them being Clockwork E. And he also has another song on this album from Willie Hayes. It is available right now. And I checked his DistroKid. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Music. It's on iTunes. And it's on another couple of fucking pieces of music media webs and all of that shit. One that I noticed that he didn't put it up on his DistroKid was YouTube Music, and I checked that out for myself. It's on there too. His whole discography's on YouTube Music, so good. Dude, just because you, and I want to put this out there, just because you, and I'm not saying this specifically about Shade, but I'm just saying this in general for any other musician that's out there, just because you like Spotify doesn't mean that I like Spotify. Spotify is definitely not my main go-to. It's YouTube. And why? Because YouTube has been my home since 2008. And even if it's just a remake of Google Music, YouTube is my home. I will always support fucking YouTube. Unless Spotify comes out with a streaming app, then that might be a completely different story, you know, where I can do this type of stuff. But then again, I guess I can't RTMP this fucking show and put it on Spotify if I wanted to. But yeah, so Shade Hecka, Forgotten Number 2, it is available right now on all the boys. And you can definitely check that out right now. Give it a listen. Give the homie some fucking love. It's Shade. He's one of us. You know what I'm saying? Now, the other piece of news that I saw that was worthy of my fucking show that I knew about was this one. Gibby Stites. You know what? Hold on a second. I'm gonna put that up on this one because it looks like it's definitely a 9:16 ratio. So Gibby Stites also came out with a new album. Gibby Stites presents It Came From Illville. Now, this is definitely not a Magic Ninja boy. All right, he did that one album with Magic Ninja, and then he was discarded or left or one of the two. I don't know. Future endeavored in some way, shape, or form. However, Gibby Stites came out with a new album, also on all of the things. You can see it clearly there too. Apple Music, Spotify, Deezer, Amazon Music, YouTube Music. It's on all the things. So give yourself a treat. Check out Gibby Stites. Especially for you 17%ers that don't follow anything that's on Magic Ninja at all. Now you can listen to Gibby Stites. Kind of like how it is for me when it concerns listening to fucking Al Azul Ilu. I refuse to listen to anything that has the little fucking star boy on it. I'm going to fucking wait until they're on their own, and they're on their own now. So I'll support the fuck out of Al Azul Ilu now. Fuck yeah. Now, since I brought out a fucking video game because of this shit, so anyways, can you tell I like ska? there's like ska's just one of those things, but it's definitely one of those ones that's just like a complete and utter fucking earworm. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so we got another video that we want to talk about. Since I talked about video games before, in 2 days, which I am going to participate in this, in 2 days we have a new PlayStation 5 game coming out, which is Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles. If you haven't played the original, or the one that was Final Fantasy Tactics Advance on the Game Boy Advance, and I believe it was also ported over to the PSP back in the day, Final Fantasy Tactics is a very awesome game. It's an isometric game. It's very different than a lot of your standard fucking role-playing games like the original Final Fantasy main stories, or even Final Fantasy... What the fuck game was that for the Super Nintendo? Basically, it was just like a training, training on how to fucking play a Final Fantasy game. It was like Diet Final Fantasy, pretty much. I can't remember the name of it. Nevertheless, though, I definitely liked Final Fantasy Tactics. Although this one, now they have remastered it, and it's going to be available for all the major gaming systems. And I downloaded the trailer, so we're going to watch it together. Yes.
Is it truly him?
Look at this. Bro.
Did my eyes deceive me?
So as you can tell, like, okay, there's your animation right there for a fucking cutscene, and it's got voice acting, all the things. Hell yeah. Oh man, like, I'm already excited for this. He lives.
The order has been commanded to undertake an operation to eliminate the brigade.
All right, lads. Cut through these and we're as good as fled.
Okay, so did you just get a bunch of British people to fucking voice act? Because I'm sure that's going to be the last time that they get to speak publicly now, because of all the insanity that's going on in the UK.
I hear you were decorated for your first victory, Ramza. They
wow.
From on high. You do honor to our name, my brother.
Bro. Bro, they really fucking did something with the graphics in this. Like, they definitely smoothed it all out. Like, look at that. Like, it's not blocky or nothing. Like, they added better textures. Even like, take a look at the wood planks that are broken off and shit. Like, that actually looks good too. Sound effects.
Are all the same. What do you think makes you so special?
Dude, I like the scratch art.
We fight to end the aristocracy, not to become it.
All of Ivalice is in turmoil.
The crown strays. It must
Dude!
be back onto the path.
Oh, dude.
Ramza, become a knight worthy of your name.
Oh, dude, this is gonna be dope.
Fight with honor and trust in your steel. No holding back.
Yes.
Take this.
Oh,
My
dude.
only sister is taken by cutthroats, and you would have me calm?
I would not go out of my way to rescue some common maid.
Bro, like that's... Dude, that's awesome. Like, it's... The depth even of the fucking dialogue is pretty fucking tight.
Delita, we must away.
Yeah, Ramza.
Ramza, you will know the path you must walk. A Beowulf can walk no other.
Okay, so, yeah, that's what you get for the pre-order. Okay. 10 high potions, 10 ethers, a mithril knight, spiked boots, white equipment for Ramza. Oh, come on. Are you really gonna fucking... Are you really gonna let like, look, we get it, Ramza's character, he's a noble, but are we also gonna be throwing in white privilege for Ramza? Like, that's what it looks like. They're throwing in that white privilege for Ramza. So yeah, you got 2 days to pre-order it. It's $49.99 if you want to buy the physical, and then I think the digital deluxe, and that's the only way that you can get the digital deluxe, is $59.99. Although it looks like it says pre-order bonus, but it doesn't say anything. Oh, okay. Internet connection required to receive bonus items. Certain bonuses can also be obtained by playing through the game. Bonus may be distributed to players or made available for purchase at a later date. So basically, I mean, all of that stuff, probably except for the white privilege equipment for Ramza, is going to be something that you can get throughout the game later. Obviously, spike boots, mithril knight, ether, high potions, like you can get that kind of stuff. Now, what makes this game interesting though is that you basically have like your core, you have your cores, your core classes, and then as you master those classes, it unlocks capabilities to get other classes, and then you can actually start mixing and matching actions that you can do with some of the other classes. Very similar to that of Final Fantasy V, if you've ever played that. When you've mastered everything, you can like make it so your character can be a mimic, and you can give it 3 different options and the option to use items. So you can customize each individual character based off of whatever it is that they've mastered. And sometimes it takes a while to master stuff to get a character to go where it is that you want to go. But this is one of those games. It's a very unique game. And this is one of the few Final Fantasy games that I actually don't own a physical copy of. Like, I don't own a physical copy of this, and I don't own a physical copy of Final Fantasy Origins for the PlayStation 1, but I am definitely going to be getting this version of the game, because I really like the fact that it's got cutscenes now. The cutscenes look fucking dope, especially with its animation and its style, its drawing style, as well as having voice acting, which is something that was heavily missing in the original game. However, I'm pretty sure if they added voice acting into the original game, it probably would have been 2 discs. So, yeah, definitely going to be looking forward to this. All right, now let's get into some fucking news. And there was a piece of news that really pissed me off. And it's because some of this stuff kind of comes close to home, right? First off, we've got this chick who, her name is Shelby Campbell, and she is planning to run for she's running to become a congresswoman in the 13th district of Michigan, Detroit, right? However, I think that she may have sealed her fate when she posted this upcoming video because, well, it has to do with Charlie Kirk. Now, you guys already have seen what I feel when it concerns Charlie Kirk. I feel like that man did not deserve to die. He shouldn't have died the way that he did. If anything, I still feel that man should still be alive, debating fucking college kids and showing them how fucking stupid they and their party are. But nevertheless, here was her response, especially with current events that we'll talk about later today.
Hey Maga, how bad does it hurt? The Jimmy Kimmel's back, but you guys can't get your person back.
Okay, so this has been a question that has been floating around quite a bit, actually. Okay, you know what? I feel like I might be a little bit hot mic'd, so I'm gonna try to bring the mic down a little bit. Let's see. Let's bring it to 2.5. I think that that's actually pretty good. Maybe a little bit higher. Okay. I think that might be fine. But anyways, yeah. So her question is, how does it feel, MAGA? How does MAGA feel knowing that Jimmy Kimmel's back on the air and our person is not, right? This is a question that I've been seeing a lot on Facebook and on TikTok, and I'm just basically going to say it like this. Whatever. I mean, I never really watched Jimmy Kimmel in the first place after he left the Man Show. So if he's back, what do I care? It's not going to give my fucking television an extra view. Not to mention, I think, what was it? Nexstar and Sinclair, two of the most major ABC affiliated channel owners, still kind of refuse to not play Jimmy Kimmel shit. I think Nexstar, I don't know if what the actual name of it is. I know it starts with an N. It's an N word. And it might be 6 or 7 letters long. I'm not sure. But anyways, yeah, so that company, I think, actually did decide to bend the knee and actually start displaying fucking Jimmy Kimmel's shows again. But Sinclair, on the other hand, I think they're still standing their ground. Nevertheless, that's the question. So I'm going to start this at the very beginning. Yeah, doesn't she look like she would be a good face for the 13th district of Michigan? Like, just wait for it. Just the fact that she asked this, you know what I'm saying?
Hey Maga, how bad does it hurt? The Jimmy Kimmel's back, but you guys can't get your person back.
The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. Are you fucking serious, girl? Like, ever since this video popped up on her fucking Facebook, I have seen a variety of a lot of the people that I watch on TikTok reacting to this. Even Grace Unlimited, who has actually now made it a mission to not only fucking make it so people who do this type of behavior lose their fucking jobs, but also the people who are losing their jobs due to saying stuff positively about Charlie Kirk. I've seen so many of these videos where, like, there have been people like this, and then Grace Unlimited will find out information about them, where they're from, who they really are, and where they work, and then they'll take their videos and comments and stuff that they post on social media and send it to their HR. and basically just say, do with this what you will. And people have lost their jobs because of this. Is it a way for them to silence a person? Not really, but it is the age of accountability. We're in our accountability era right now. Y'all had your little cancel culture. Me on the other hand, like us on the other hand, we're trying to teach you accountability by all means necessary. Okay? So, on the other hand, there have been people who have been in support of Charlie Kirk over the last couple of weeks, since his assassination, all the way through his funeral and his memorial and all of the things. And people have been showing, there have been people, and even some Democrats, that have shown their support for MAGA or Turning Point, Erica Kirk, however you want to look at it, and they're posting about this, and then you've got a bunch of Democrats who will come in and be like, I can't believe that I used to like you because like you're supporting this, racist, bigoted, fucking whatever the fuck everybody says about Charlie Kirk that hasn't been debunked 1,000 times, right? And so they're like, we'll never give you support again. Or in the case of a TikToker by the name of Hannah Brown, who actually all her TikTok videos were just her like making satirical videos in in reference to being like a waitress or some kind of work comparable to that. That's all her TikTok was. And a picture of her at the Charlie Kirk Memorial surfaced, and a whole bunch of people ended up unfollowing her on TikTok. She lost about 200,000 followers on TikTok, but since that had happened and word got out about Hannah Brown losing those subscribers, she actually explained it in her most recent video, which has only been up for like 2 or 3 days. She ended up explaining, I'm not doing this because I'm MAGA. I'm doing this because a man was murdered and I wanted to pay my respects. And that's acceptable to me. Even if she did vote blue, I can still respect that. And that's something that I'm trying to do on my Facebook with all of my friends. I don't care if you're, and that's the message that I've basically been trying to give out to the people that are on my Facebook friends list. I don't care if you're fucking blue, but if you're if you're fucking disrespecting a man's murder and celebrating in it, I don't want to know who you are anymore. That it's as simple as that. Like, you are evil if that is what you are going to fucking do. And so with that being said, it's like I know that there's a bunch of people on my friends list that I've known for 10 plus years. Sorry, but you just wrote off our friendship by being insensitive. It doesn't matter what you think he said. It doesn't matter if you think he's unempathetic or apathetic. What does that say about you? Besides, like I said before, society has developed to an online chat room. We are in deep, guys. I don't know how to fix this. I know exactly how to fix it. But it's definitely not with an attitude like this, where you try to fucking say, I'm trying to be the congressman of the 13th District of Detroit, Michigan, but at the same time, I'm going to laugh and take advantage of a man's fucking death. Not to mention, if you go through this broad's fucking TikTok, every single one of her videos basically is her being ratchet as fuck. Is that really the type of congresswoman that you want to have, as somebody who's going to lay on her back more than Kamala Harris? Is that really what you want? One video, she doubles down on this action and basically says, I'm very sure that the people who I represent, which I live in Detroit, so all of the people I represent are black, and as a white woman, I think that they would really appreciate the fact that I would be saying these things about Charlie Kirk. Okay, yeah, but you're also fucking shaking ass to wet ass pussy. Okay, this is not the type of attitude that you really want as a fucking congresswoman. What do you think, that you're going to be able to fucking get into Congress and you can start bumping uglies with fucking Jasmine Crockett? Like, dude, she's already the fucking ghetto queen of Congress. They don't need another ratchet bitch. Especially one as demonic as her. Look at the eyes. You can always see it in the fucking eyes. Look at her eyes. Black as night. Like there is a demon in that bitch.
Hey Maga, how bad does it hurt? The Jimmy Kimmel's back, but you guys can't get your person back.
And the laugh too. It's like how do you laugh like this? What is this laugh? Yeah, so there you go. You know, if you want to, you can go ahead and go to that particular TikTok and give her fucking 40 heaping helps of shit. I don't give a fuck. Fuck her. But then again, you know, it's like, I don't know. Hasn't everybody? I'm pretty sure that's how she's going to start getting votes. Kind of like Aaron Brockovich. It's really sad when people in my state end up fucking doing that type of shit. No, I haven't played any of those because, frankly, I don't care. I'm trying to make a point in saying that I don't want to fucking bring him up for the next 6 months because I'm pretty sure he's already mentioned me. Anyways, so we gotta fucking get into some other stuff. Since she brought up Jimmy Kimmel, there's one thing that we have to talk about before we actually bring up Jimmy Kimmel himself, and that is this Tylenol situation, okay? So if you don't know, Donald Trump... Oh, yeah, I did see that video. I'm not gonna lie, I did see that video, and I thought it was kind of funny. So, anyways... We gotta swap this out over to this fucking one because the next video is widescreen. I wish that it would just fucking fit, but it doesn't. Anyways, so President Trump ended up making an announcement that there might possibly be some sort of a correlation with autism and taking Tylenol during pregnancy. So here it is.
Don't take Tylenol. Don't take it. If you just can't, I mean, it's fight like hell not to take it.
There's a strong
Right.
response this morning from major medical groups that are taking issue with the White House's announcement tying autism to women using Tylenol during pregnancy.
And Violent J. Tylenol. The only mention of this that I actually made on Facebook was, remember when Violent J said Tylenol a bunch of times in the song My Axe? Not try to replace the word Tylenol with acetaminophen. Maybe Jay can do it. Acetaminophen. Holy shit, I did that a lot better than I thought I would. I literally thought that I was gonna fucking fuck that up. Anyways, tell me more about Tylenol, Daddy. I need the Tylenizzy glizzy.
First, effective immediately, the FDA will be notifying physicians that the use of well, let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen.
Yeah, acetaminophen. And what's funny to me too is like there's a whole bunch of people that are fucking saying that shit. Like literally, you take a look at the fucking bottle here. Yeah, like this isn't Tylenol, but it's like fucking store brand shit. But, like, literally, when you read the fucking word, yeah, it's easy to fucking pronounce if you know how to pronounce it. But I'm pretty sure that everybody who tried to talk shit about the fact that he had a hard time pronouncing acetaminophen had to fucking do the same shit. I'm very sure. Because, like, who the fuck actually calls acetaminophen by its actual government name? Everybody knows it's fucking Tylenol. All right, or store brand or knockoff Tylenol. Nobody says, hey, excuse me, I have a little bit of a headache. Could you hand me the acetaminophen? Nobody does that. So, like, what the fuck?
Acetaminophen.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Is that okay? No, fuck it. We're calling it Tylenol forever. Kind of like how we call bandage strips Band-Aids.
Which is basically commonly known as Tylenol.
Tylenol.
Can be associated with a very increased risk of autism.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, if you look to Daddy Trump's left, you see what Dr. Oz to his left. Okay, that's the right of the screen. And Dr. Oz is like, yup.
So taking Tylenol is not good.
President Trump's messaging came with his health.
He went through his entire fucking mental Rolodex to try to figure out the worst word that he could describe what the possible risks and side effects are of taking Tylenol while pregnant, and he comes out with not good. Yeah, now people would probably say, oh, he's losing his mind, he's got dementia. No, he doesn't. If he does, then, he's going to be looking at fucking, gay pop bands and shit with a big smile on his face like Biden did, if you remember. Holy shit. Like, that dude looked like he was zonked out on 4 Xanax.
Secretary RFK Jr. by his side, who has long shared provably wrong theories about what causes autism.
They are...
I mean, granted, that may or may not be true, but he has tried to figure it out for more than half of his life. Like when I think it was his grandchildren that ended up having high functioning autism, and he was like, I've got to figure out why it is that this is happening. I don't mean to fucking mock him because I love Bobby Kennedy, but still, he's on a mission, okay? And he's trying to figure it out because I'm pretty sure that he has also noticed the vast increase of people that are being born and being diagnosed with autism on whatever level of spectrum that it is. Do you believe that right now it is 1 in every 31 people are being diagnosed with autism? Now, granted, I'm pretty sure that it also includes the fact that they added Asperger's to that, but still, 1 out of every 31 people born and diagnosed with autism. That is a very dangerous fucking number. And so, it makes sense why RFK, even if he's not president of the United States like he initially wanted, he at least is in charge of Health and Human Services, and he is basically trying to put things back the way they were before they started dousing everything with fucking noxious chemicals, whether it be our medicine, our water, our fucking food and drink. Even this fucking Red Bull that I'm drinking has shit in it I can't even fucking pronounce. All I know is that it's tasty. And then on top of that, I also have fucking Pure Leaf tea, which I'm not fucking sponsored by, but I've been drinking enough of it lately. The Raspberry Boy is my favorite. I do like blackberry, but the sweet tea, green tea, extra sweet tea, I know. And in Twisted Tree Line, I am doing everything in my power to try to slow down on it. I went from having 3 12-ounce cans of Red Bull a day, now down to 2 8-ounce cans a day. And the way that the caffeine in Red Bull works, it hits you like lightning. I think of tea, though, as more of a time release. And at this point, I might as well just get a 4-pack and see how long it lasts me. Because I'll probably just drink a Red Bull when I get a fucking crash headache. And then I'll just sip on tea until then. And then after that, I can start slowly taking Monster and Red Bull out of my system. And it's like, that's one of those things. You know what I'm saying? I do like coffee. Like, you can't see it, but back there in the background, there's a Keurig on top of the microwave, which is also on top of a mini fridge. So I do have a coffee maker, and by the way, I use Death Wish coffee yeah, I have Death Wish coffee and Liquid Death Mountain Water for the coffee maker. Like I do that I do that on purpose. But anyway, so RFK being in the Department of Health and Human Services, he wants to get food dyes out of our fucking food. He wants to see, like, seriously, why is it that Raisin Bran has stuff in it that I can barely fucking pronounce? When I'm pretty sure that a lot of this stuff that isn't even regulated in other countries, but somehow it's regulated in ours. You know what I'm saying? Might as well just fucking make it so all of that stuff is illegal to put in our fucking food, because that's another thing that could possibly be creating this autism epidemic. And don't say that it's not an epidemic, because it fucking is. Like there's another video that I'll be putting up soon. You know what I'm saying?
Strongly recommending that women limit Tylenol use during pregnancy unless medically necessary.
Oh, really? I mean, I'm pretty sure that says that on the fucking bottle. Yeah. If pregnant or breastfeeding, ask a health professional before use. Keep out of reach of children. Oh, by the way, this isn't even a footnote, but I might as well read it to you. In case of accidental overdose, get medical help or contact a poison control center right away. It even has the fucking phone number on the bitch. And let me tell you this one here too. Let's see. Liver warning. This product contains acetaminophen. No shit. Severe liver damage may occur if, and then it shows all the fucking things. You know what I'm saying? And apparently, ask a doctor before use if you have liver disease. Ask a doctor or pharmacist before use if you are taking the blood-thinning drug warfarin. Whatever. But basically what they're saying is, and Trump just said this, and I will repeat it, and then I will have Daddy Trump say the same thing again. Only take this shit if you're pregnant. Only take this shit when you need to take it. It is a fever reducer. As a matter of fact, even Dr. Drew said that only take this shit if it's at a very high, if your fever is at a very high temperature. He said 105, which by the time your body hits 106 degrees, that's when your brain starts to cook. Like 106 degree body temperature when you have a fever is dangerous. I would say take it at 103, 104, if that's the worst case. But it is meant to be a fever reducer. It is meant to be a pain reliever. But take it sparingly, especially if you're pregnant. I don't like taking pills. All right? I mean, for one, Violent J has already had a fucking Tylenol issue, and we all know about that, right? Hell, that might have been the attributing factor to his panic attacks, because taking Tylenol PM just to get to sleep when you're at random fucking hours of the night and all that other shit, you know what I'm saying? Who knows? But still, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's let Lord King Trump fucking say what he's got to say again.
Wrong theories about what causes autism.
They are strongly recommending that women limit Tylenol use during pregnancy unless medically necessary.
Now, this is coming from esteemed doctors from Harvard, as well as Cedars-Sinai and a bunch of other fucking institutions that look this shit up and study this shit and research this shit. Now, there's also, I guess according to this, there's a whole bunch of fucking blowback from autism centers and shit like that.
That's, for instance, in cases of extremely high fever.
Yes.
That you feel you can't tough it out, you can't do it. I guess there's that. It's a small number of cases, I think.
This morning, major medical organizations are disagreeing with the president, saying that acetaminophen is safe for pregnant women and that the drug is important because untreated fevers can end pregnancies. The makers of Tylenol say that sound science clearly shows that taking acetaminophen does not cause autism.
Oh, really? That's what Tylenol says? Because I'm pretty sure 8 years ago they said the exact same shit that Donald Trump said the other day. And I'm pretty sure that I came across a video that shows that. Now, with that being said, here's what Babylon B had to fucking say about that shit. And I thought this video was funny.
Hi, lady. You're either pregnant or very fat.
I am pregnant.
Yeah.
How would you like your child to start a rocket company?
That would be great. I guess.
Then try new Tylenol, autism strength. The only pain reliever guaranteed to put your child on the spectrum.
There's conspiracy theories linking the boom in autism back to when they started adding fluoride to tap water, and now there's talks of the government wanting to also add lithium to water. No, you vampire clown, you don't mix lithium with water. Just ask any meth cook. You don't want to fucking do that. Yeah, Tylenol juggalo. Dude, fucking 90% of the juggalo community are Neurospicy Tylenol-Americans. Like, that's just fact, all right? Like, I think that's scientifically backed.
This fast-acting Tylenol quickly goes through your bloodstream and somehow, through some unknown process no one can quite explain, gives your child autism.
I would think that that would have something to do with chemical rearrangement. That's not necessarily a fucking backed science thing, but that makes sense to me.
Are there any side effects?
Well, there's the autism.
Oh.
Tylenol autism strength.
I mean, chances, like running the risk of fucking taking Tylenol to give your kid fucking autism doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be a rocket scientist. All right? They might really like trains or puzzles or, in my case, video games. And some of them really like math. A juggalo definitely made this clip. No, this is coming from the Babylon B. I don't think they are juggalo affiliated.
It may or may not give your kid autism. There's like a correlation or something.
Yeah, there's like a correlation or something. Now, keep that in mind. They said, like, even the Babylon B understands there's a correlation or something. Fucking, that's what President Trump was trying to say, that it was coming from some of these institutions like Harvard. And what's funny, though, like, even Dr. Oz talked about this. And I actually got this from an enemy source. Like, this came from the ops. And Dr. Oz is like, yeah. Like, you would think, this is from CBS News. You would think that with it being from fucking CBS, that they would just be like, no, you could take like 78 or more of them motherfuckers at one time. Because Donald Trump said it was bad, so it must be good. I think it's got vitamin C in it and stuff.
Welcome back to the Takeout. Welcome to the conversation.
Who's this
Health
yutz?
experts, I know that's a loaded term in these contemporary political times. And
What is?
welcome back to the Takeout. Welcome to the conversation corner. Health experts, I know that's a loaded term in these.
Yeah, especially since these are the same fucking people that the liberals basically were sucking dick in the very beginning of the 2020s. Not lithium chloride, the lithium salts they use for treating things like bipolar and manic depressive disorders. You know, like, I was thinking about this. You know what I think depression might possibly be? It might be a possible side effect of voting blue. You ever notice a lot of those people are fucking either malnourished or over fucking nourished? Everybody's fucking depressed, manic depressive, bipolar, NPD, suicidal, and they all vote blue. You know what the cure to that depression is? Voting for Trump, especially in 2028, third term.
Contemporary political times, and some Republican lawmakers taking issue with the administration's new position.
Ibuprofen and Tylenol on the regular all passed away, whereas the ones who never really took medicines much are still alive. Strange. Like, one of the things, like, I think I saw one video where some bitch was fucking complaining about the Tylenol thing because they're like, ibuprofen, they tell you not to take it at all because it can cause something in the fucking baby, and it's been proven of that, but Tylenol's like our only defense to pain and fevers and shit, and Trump's telling us not to fucking take it? Whatever.
The Tylenol used during pregnancy could contribute to autism. Here was the
Could.
president on that matter Monday at the White House.
We saw this.
Taking Tylenol is not good. All right, I'll say it. It's not good.
Now, according to what he said, and I think on the live he actually said they can't say it, but I will. So he's willing to fucking take the fucking hit. Blue party is sad and feeling blue. Who would have thunk it? Right. The common cure to depression is voting Republican, because we seem to be pretty happy right now.
For this reason, they are strongly recommending that women limit Tylenol use during pregnancy unless medically necessary.
Once again, limit the amount of Tylenol that you take sparingly in emergency situations, because it could result in the risk of giving your baby autism. That's all that he said.
Administrator for the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, Dr. Mehmet Oz, joins me now.
Mehmet Oz!
Great to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Isn't this the same guy that they fucking ran off over the Fauci situation?
Thank you very much. Synthesize for my audience what the federal advice here is on this. Is it to never take Tylenol under any circumstance?
Categorically, no.
Okay.
The advice actually that the president gave in that little piece is pretty accurate. If you've got a
Holy shit. You're saying that the president might be right about something? On CBS? You better be careful, because that might be the next building that somebody insane on the left might start shooting up.
high fever, if you've got big problems that are worrisome to you, and hopefully you'll contact your doctor if that's the case, they're going to tell you to take Tylenol for the fever because we don't have a lot of the other options, and the fever itself could be a problem. The concern here is that I believe most women get low-grade fevers, they stub their toe, they have little aches and pains, and they think it's perfectly safe to throw a couple paracetamol or acetaminophen or Tylenol when they're pregnant, and I don't think that's the case. And here's the real question, Major. If you're where we are right now, and the president charged us to find out what's going on with autism, why is it we have 5 times more autistic children?
As I was saying before, this is actually where I got it from, but I have also seen billboards that are saying like 1 in every 20 children are born autistic. I saw this like a couple of years ago.
Than we had 25 years ago, which is clearly not genetic. There's something environmental happening.
From Europe.
Yeah, exactly. It's stuff that they put in our food, in our drinks, in our water supply. You know, our Tylenol. Or it's the Tylenol itself. You know, it's definitely something that's environmental. I'm not saying that it, like, you know, oh, it's... I mean, it's like some people, you can actually just fucking see it in their eyes and you can tell that they have autism. Like, I have a bunch of friends of mine who are autistic and have the exact same fucking look in their eyes. And when they tell me that they're autistic, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to see a pattern here. I can't necessarily describe what it is, but I know when I'm seeing it. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen quite a few people that have it.
Opinion, it's clearly not genetic.
It couldn't shift 5-fold in 25 years. Genes don't do that.
Is any...
Right, yeah, exactly. Like, did you catch that? So, like, in the last 25 years, an average generation is 15 years. And there has been a huge graphic uptick of people born with autism in the last 25 years. So it can't be something genetic. Genetics evolve over multiple fucking generations. We're talking like every few 100 years, there is something small, or maybe not even that. Like, it might be even way past that. Like, you got to remember, how old is this planet? Like 2.6, 4.6 billion years old. And over time, the single-cell organism has evolved into every single animal that we know, including ourselves. Right? Every few thousand millennia, nature and fucking evolution takes its course. And some animals stay the way that they've been for a while. Some of them have evolved. Now, the thing too is, like, some also de-evolve. And I'm not sure whether or not you would want to consider autism to be evolution or de-evolution, or it might just be one of those defects that fucking comes in. But then again, everything that makes us us is technically a defect. Over the course of billions of years, there's always a fucking defect that could possibly benefit us. Like going from I mean, what's the most common ancestor that we have as human beings? The orangutan or something like that? So, like, there might have been a previous fucking form that didn't have an opposable thumb, and eventually evolution created it so that way we had opposable thumbs. And the way that our feet look, the way that we look when we walk, talk, where our ears are at, where our eyes are at, things have evolved over time. I'm giving you a common evolutionary fucking explanation here. And what I'm saying is, like, in the last 25 years, there has been an uptick where it's like 1 in every 1,000 fucking people that could have autism, now to 1 in every 31 people on this planet are diagnosed autistic. How did that happen in the last 25 years when it takes thousands of years for us to evolve? Don't tell me that we've hit the evolutionary point, because I don't believe that.
Is that related to a more precise or expanded definition of what autism is, meaning the spectrum enlarged, and children who might not have fallen into that categorization, say 15 years ago, now fall into it?
I'll grant you there's a possible creep there, but let me ask you a question, because we're probably similar in age. How many children in your class or in your environment, your neighborhood, had autism when you were growing up?
I didn't know any.
I didn't know any either. Secretary Kennedy often recounts that he's never known anybody, his age group. And so where are all the 60, 70-year-old autistic people? There seems to have actually been a real change. And then the question is, what's going down? And when we were asked to look into this, we broke the silos down between the FDA, Marty McCary, who's been on the show many times, Jay Bhattacharya at NIH, myself at CMS, and we did the best we could to figure out, looking at the best science out there, what are the clues? And we figured 2 out. Now, there are going to be more. This is evolving.
And these are clues.
Yeah, so, like, basically, Dr. Mehmet Oz is explaining they're still in the middle of research, and they found 2 things right now. So why is it that Donald Trump is announcing it right now with the acetaminophen? Most likely is because they want to put it out there immediately. Just to be like, look, this is what we found so far, and this is a possibility. This could fucking be one of the cases, if not the case. So just as a safety precaution, America, slow down on the Tylenol. The amount of body hair and melanin people have based on how close to the equator their ancestors are from. Yeah, that's another evolutionary standpoint. You know, when you got people in Africa, hell, like you said, along the equator and shit like that. Then you got us white devils hiding in caves and shit, all terrified of the sun. But then there's also the fact that there's a lot of us who fucking, you know, like in those areas of the world where it snows, where it's hot during one season, it's cold during the other, shit like that. But now it's a different breed because we figured out central air. We figured out housing. We figured out how to keep ourselves cool during the summer and warm during the winter. And so that actually kind of helps attribute, except for, some of us here in the Midwest, some of us just wear shorts and a hockey jersey during the sub-zero temperatures. I'm one of those people. Like, it's got to get really cold at some point in order for me to put on a fucking hoodie and then put a hockey jersey over that.
Clues,
these are
not
clues,
conclusions.
signals. These are things that we believe that if you're fully transparent about, you'll rebuild trust with the American people.
Yeah.
Tell people what you know, like a doctor.
The two clues are.
Yeah, just don't hide everything until. Yeah, at this point, it's like, yes, they are saying that there is a possible risk. They're not conclusive about it, and it's not Donald Trump being like, don't take Tylenol because I'm Donald Trump. It's don't please slow down on the Tylenol. Use it sparingly, only in emergency situations where you know you're gonna fucking need it.
That we believe that kids with autism spectrum disorder have a problem getting folate into their brain in some cases. That's a problem that could be treated with a medication that's a prescription drug that a doctor has to prescribe for you by definition called leucovorin. FDA is going to change the label on this drug over the next few weeks that will free up state Medicaid and CHIP services, which they insure most kids in America, to allow children and their moms to get access to this medication.
Because there's some small data sets that say this could be helpful. Leucovorin.
There are about 250 kids in different trials, but that's the key question is, if you, as a researcher on those trials, had a child, would you give that child leucovorin? And when I asked the doctors involved in those trials, they said yes. In fact, academic centers who are researching this, I got the same answer. So we don't have all the answers, but we feel obliged to tell the American people this, and who really was passionate about this is President Trump. He said, if we know this is a possible tool, why would we not tell the American people? Tylenol,
right.
Same story. The Tylenol issue is whether or not we should warn moms who are pregnant today about a problem that we may not know fully the answer to. Is Tylenol a problem during pregnancy for another 5 years? Well, what about the kid today? Are you going to take the Tylenol or not? And I think the best prudent answer is, of course, take it if a doctor says you need it. But don't take it on your own without thinking twice about it.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like, that makes sense, right? Doesn't that sound like something that, would make the most amount of fucking sense? Take it when you need it? Well, apparently, some people don't know how to listen, or they just want to be in their rebellious phase because shit fucking happened.
What's up, America? Liberals on TikTok taking Tylenol because Donald Trump told them not to. So yeah, it's time that we had this discussion.
I love this guy.
Liberals, after hearing Donald Trump say not to take Tylenol when you're pregnant, are now taking Tylenol while they're pregnant and filming it on TikTok.
People are fucking stupid for doing this. Because, yeah, this ended up becoming a thing. Like, why the fuck? Like, this proves that, to me, this proves that Trump derangement syndrome is a thing. All right, it should be medically diagnosed. And I think the first thing that they need to do is to lock these motherfuckers up in a rubber room. Put on the funny white coat. The one with all the fucking buckles on it. Because a lot of these people in this country have lost their ever fucking minds. Whether it be laughing at the death of Charlie Kirk or doing this shit. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with this planet?
People have been drinking up to a full bottle of Tylenol here on TikTok. Obviously, I'm not going to show that deranged behavior here, but really, what the fuck is wrong with you people? So Trump says taking Tylenol while you're pregnant is bad, and so what you're doing is taking Tylenol while you're pregnant and drinking bottles of Tylenol. For what reason exactly?
Yeah, apparently it's a trend on TikTok called owning Trump. Oh yeah, because that's totally gonna fucking show Trump. They're taking pills of Tylenol, drinking the liquid Tylenol shit while they're pregnant to prove that their baby is not going to be born autistic. You're not going to be able to find out for another couple of months, girl. So, like, why the fuck would you do that? It's like, okay, listen. The human brain is continually developing until you're about the age of 26. Any and all fucking drugs that you consume that are going to be chemically altering, whether it's weed or acetaminophen or X or anything else, acid, Molly, fucking even nitrous, that stuff will have an effect on your brain and cause brain damage that can be fucking permanent. And if you're a mother that is taking Tylenol, too much Tylenol, I should say, while your baby is still in the womb, still developing, still growing, your body gets used to the Tylenol. It's almost the same thing as fucking crack babies. Because drugs alter the effect of fetal growth. How do you not know this? How do you not know this when you're fucking 3 or 4 possible baby daddy constituent people, and when you decide to keep the fucking baby, you don't know this shit when you're trying to learn how to fucking be a mom prenatal? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, look, I had kids when I was in my mid-20s having no idea what the hell I was doing as a parent, but I knew well enough. And so did my wife at the time. We knew well enough to know that taking fucking drugs was a bad idea. Right, that's another thing too. Like, it even says on the bottle that taking too much fucking Tylenol can cause liver failure. It can also cause kidney failure. And if you're giving this as a prenatal fucking thing to a unborn baby, who basically, the way that it works is like you eat the food and the baby is going to absorb some, like all of the nutrients it needs from the food that you take in. And guess what? This works the exact same fucking way. When you take acetaminophen or ibuprofen or aspirin or anything else to fucking be a fever reducer or a pain reliever or whatever the fuck, the baby inside is going to absorb this shit and it's going to cause defects. Simple as that. And the same thing with the unpronounceable shit that's in my fucking Raisin Bran. It's going to do the same exact shit. Luckily for me, all my mom did was eat fucking spicy Mexican food. And I turned out with ADHD, actually. It might have been the fucking Tylenol. Who the fuck knows? I'm just as neurospicy as the next juggalo.
Why are we doing this? Are you trying to find a trip to the hospital? Is that what this is? So if Donald Trump told you oxygen was good for you, you would find a vacuum to go in and not breathe, wouldn't you?
Clean, beautiful air. And I think I said this about a month ago. Big, beautiful oxygen. Air is good for you. And then, you know, these expectant mothers will be fucking putting grocery bags over their heads and locking it up tight because Donald Trump said you need air in order to live. I don't need air in order to live. And then they fucking suffocate because they're fucking stupid. Like, why am I like, Carface said it best in All Dogs Go to Heaven. Morons! I'm surrounded by morons! And things that have been happening since the death of Charlie Kirk, even actually beyond that, in the last 10 years, has shown me that exact same shit. That people are fucking dumb. And half of us don't even want to live on this planet anymore.
If Donald Trump told you water was healthy, you would drink a bucket of sand.
I'm expecting him to be like, you need to breathe oxygen in order to live, and then they stick their head in a fucking bucket and drown themselves. and basically saying, okay, you need to drink water because water is healthy. Oh, then I'm going to drink bleach. Yeah, we're going to go throw back to that. Donald Trump said water is healthy, so we're going to drink bleach. Bleach is 90% water. We're 90% water. Therefore, we are bleach. That was Metalocalypse. But it's like, are you like, seriously, like, why would you be this fucking stupid?
I mean, I understand not liking Donald Trump, but the lack of logic, Jesus fucking Christ. How stupid are some of you? So that's what you do. Donald Trump says not to take Tylenol while you're pregnant, and your first reaction is, I'm going to take a bunch of Tylenol, find out if he's wrong or not. Orange man bad, resist, Tylenol. I mean, I've seen some dumb motherfuckers in my time, but you assholes take the cake. Drinking...
No, they take all the fucking Tylenol, bro.
And eating Tylenol because Trump said not to. Are you fucking stupid or...
Yes! Yes! You just answered your own fucking question, bro.
By the way, I just want to say fuck Crazy McCormick. Whack as fuck.
Juan Hernandez with that $5 saying, bro, TDS should be a clinical diagnosis at this point. 100% I fucking agree with you, bro. As a matter of fact, I like that. Everybody liked that because he makes a good point. Okay, where are we at? Like, I like this guy. So this guy considers himself libertarian, but he did vote for Donald Trump, and I guess I'll give him a pass because exactly, Darwinism. Like, this is where it's going. Illegal's correct. Like, the Darwin Awards have been passed around en masse this past week.
Something. I just saw a video of a girl that said, I'm pregnant, here I am taking Tylenol. And she did on a TikTok video. So please, Mr. President, can we bring back the insane asylums? Looks like we got a lot of people that need some help, and we need to give them some fucking help.
I agree to that. Like, I after seeing this, I'm like, I did notice that there are a lot of insane asylums that are being casted on, those TV shows where they fucking, ghost hunter TV shows and shit. There's a lot of abandoned insane asylums. Those need to be reopened. And a lot of these people need to be put in those fucking rooms. Here's another TikTok video that I came across talking about the Tylenol situation. This is coming from one of my other favorites on TikTok, Claire Patriot. Yeah. So that says, me popping Tylenol while pregnant because what the fuck is the government going to do about it? So, like, all of these stupid chicks are fucking misconstruing the situation, right? They're coming off as if he was telling them, do not take Tylenol. So they're like, oh, okay, then I'm going to take Tylenol. As I said before, it could possibly be a risk of giving your baby autism. It's not like definite. And yet they're like, oh, he definitely said it was definite. Sipping on some scissor. Yeah, basically that's what they're doing, dude. They're fucking like codeine and Sprite, bro. Maybe that's the reason why Sprite's had a fucking growth in popularity. So some other ones. Here's me, a pregnant woman, taking Tylenol because I believe in science and not someone who has no medical background. You stupid bitch. Trump was quoting Harvard and a lot of those other institutions like Cedars-Sinai and everybody else that was researching this shit. Trump was just basically passing the information along. Why? Because he's the fucking head figure. And he knows that majority of the country is going to fucking not do that shit. You would think, because we're trying to fucking bring logic back to this country. And what do? Oh, rebel, resist against the orange man. Okay, I'm looking at this woman. Who the fuck got her pregnant?
No. You know, Trump and RFK Jr. aren't the only people that are...
Yeah, so that's directly from harvard.edu. Using acetaminophen during pregnancy may increase children's autism and ADHD risk.
Pointing this out. This is Harvard, who also is finding there may be a risk. Are you really willing to put your child on the line to go against what Trump says?
I agree with 89 on this one. Never stick your dick in crazy. Okay, there's nobody here in the house with me. It may seem like a good idea, but in hindsight, no.
Like, bro, are you okay?
No.
They could have literally told me that there was a chance that soap was going to affect my child, and I would have stopped washing my ass. There was a Harvard study that came out.
I mean, that might be a little too
soap
far.
Is really dangerous for your baby.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why I stopped using fucking liquid body wash, because they said low sperm count with those Dr. Squatch commercials. So I'm like, yeah, I don't need something on my body that's going to possibly cause infertility. Back to bars it is. And I'm zestfully clean.
You best bet I wouldn't be using any. It's like, it's not even worth the risk. Like, Tylenol is worth it. You really needed that Tylenol to the level you would just rather use it and then post it on the internet? Like, to prove a point? What? I'm so confused. I'll tell you one thing.
No, that's
though.
basically
From the
it, Claire.
moment I found out I was pregnant, I would do anything to protect my child.
See, that's mother.
Are you saying that the brand Tylenol is more important than your unborn baby? You gotta stand up for that corporation? I am so confused.
I think what makes it more confusing, though, is the fact that these are the same fucking people who are like, yeah, let's get the 100%. What's in it? I don't know, but they said it's safe. So, yeah, get the fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, by the way, I'm just going to say this again since I got the Tylenol right here. If pregnant or and I'm actually reading this verbatim. If pregnant or breastfeeding, ask a health professional before use. I'm also going to add this. In case of accidental overdose, get medical help or contact a poison control center right away. Well,
we need to have a serious talk, and this isn't going to be one of my funny videos because I don't think this shit is funny at all anymore, and you people need to cut it out. Cut it out. I just watched a video from Nicole Sorrento on her Instagram about a husband who contacted her at 4 a.m. this morning.
Yep.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because his wife, pregnant wife, who's 23 to 25 weeks pregnant, wanted to prove that Tylenol doesn't cause autism. Guess where she is? She's in a hospital on a ventilator with liver failure.
Huh. This product contains acetaminophen. Severe liver damage may occur if you take more than 8 caplets in 24 hours, which is the maximum daily amount. With other drugs containing acetaminophen, 3 or more alcoholic drinks every day while using this product, which you're not going to fucking do that if you're pregnant unless you're that fucking stupid. Or if you're Juggalo Jules. But yeah, I can guarantee you there's more than 8 caplets worth of Tylenol in a bottle of liquid Tylenol. And I'm pretty sure that this dumb chick that she's talking about that is in the hospital now with liver failure, ate more than 8 of them at a time. It's like Cat Williams actually said, Tylenol is perfectly legal, but if you take 39 of them motherfuckers, it'll be your last headache.
And they said she's not going to survive.
She's not going to survive. And if she's not going to survive, the baby sure as fuck ain't gonna survive either. Now, I have a light side of me and a dark side of me, and the dark side of me says, what happens when you combine a massive amount of Tylenol with a pregnant Democrat? 2 less Democrat voters. And that's wrong of me to fucking think that, but that is the first thing that I thought of. Darwin Award for that woman. It's unfortunate that somebody, out of spite of Donald Trump, misconstruing what Trump fucking said, caused this woman to eat a bunch of fucking Tylenol and land herself in the hospital just to fucking prove somebody wrong. I wonder about those other 2 people that Claire Patriot showed on her fucking video. How much more Tylenol did they take? It's unfortunate. There is still a fucking sympathetic side of me that says, I feel for that. I feel for the guy, her husband. He's losing 2 family members in one fell swoop.
Okay? I'm angry. I'm so angry.
And this isn't the only woman. I actually saw a TikTok video as well where somebody else ended up saying that the chick who was making the TikTok ended up saying that she has a friend of hers who's a nurse, and overnight they ended up having a huge influx of pregnant people with liver problems all of a sudden. I want the med bed. Actually, I want the thing from Star Trek where you go and it cures whatever's ailing you. I want that. I want the fucking you're healed gun.
For someone to be that selfish towards their unborn child.
And I see that.
And how stupid. How stupid. Every single one of you who support this, you think it's funny, you're making videos. There's nothing cute, funny. This is dangerous.
People are fucking stupid.
Dangerous.
And yeah, people are fucking stupid for this type of shit. It's like, how in the fuck does your level of hatred for Donald Trump supersede this type of common sense? How does your level of hatred for Donald Trump supersede the outlook of your own health and your baby's health? You know what I'm saying? Like back in 2016 during Donald Trump's first fucking his first term, we all fucking joked about TDS. We all joked about Trump derangement syndrome because it wasn't an actual thing. However, the hate continued after Joe Biden became president of the United States. Everybody kept fucking stoking the fire. And it's no wonder why people got fucking tired of it and continued to, as the Democratic Party voters and the fucking senators, the governors, the fucking president himself, and everybody in his administration continued to stoke the fire to have everybody hate Trump in the hopes that he would never come back. They sabotaged him to try to make sure he couldn't come back. It failed every fucking time. They impeached him fucking twice, and he was not found guilty on anything. Even though people still try to fucking throw the fucker, like the fucking grab her by the pussy shit, or January 6th, which he was acquitted of. He was acquitted on all charges on both of those fucking impeachments. You can't impeach this fucking man. Which I want to say that to the fucking protesters that I saw on East Beltline and fucking Nap while I was working a couple of fucking days ago, holding up signs saying impeach Trump. Listen, you old fucking geriatric fucks who aren't watching this show, but I'm pretending you are. You can't impeach this man. He gets acquitted every fucking time. There are only 4 instances where a president of the United States has ever been impeached. Andrew Jackson was one of them. Bill Clinton was another. And then the other 2 were Donald Trump. Donald Trump is 2 out of 4. And he is 2 for 2 winning, getting acquitted. He is unimpeachable. So you can put your signs down and fucking go be a greeter at Walmart or some shit. People are fucking stupid. And it's to a point now where it's like, it's not even a joke anymore. Like, it's basically like you're either a Republican or you have TDS. It's one of these two, because like with everything that's happened, whether it's this stupid shit going on, all the crime that's been going on, all of the fucking protests that have been going on, the riots that have been going on, the death of Charlie Kirk, people are starting to see, I don't want to be a part of this. If this is what Democrat is, then I don't want to be a fucking part of it. What it is it's fucking them trying to project a mirror onto the Republican Party by acting exactly the same way that they expect the Republican Party to act. Has anybody ever fucking noticed this? They are acting the exact same way that they claim the Republicans are, and then when they are, instead of being accountable for their fucking actions, they blame it on the Republicans, especially Trump. I agree with Illegal. I do miss the OG internet on computers only, where it was like we got to live our life, and then when we got home from work, we could sit on MySpace all day and listen to fucking underground fucking MySpace rappers. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, grin, grin, wink, wink. You know what I mean? You know, when hip-hop was actually good and not in SoundCloud? I'm going to fire up AOL and fucking have a chat with whoever. Back when you couldn't tell whether or not the cyber chick was actually a chick. No, I don't think... You might be shadow... I don't know. I'm not paying attention to the chat all that much. Anyways, yeah, even Matt Walsh fucking talked about this shit.
Frankly, there's something very funny and ironic about watching a bunch of communists valiantly defend the profit interests of the multi-billion-dollar pharmaceutical industry, to the point that they're willing to, chug Tylenol on camera. Here's a little piece of trivia to file away under the good timing category. The brand name Tylenol was first introduced back in 1955 by a company called McNeil Laboratories. They marketed it as a way to reduce fevers in children. Just 4 years later, the growing pharmaceutical giant Johnson & Johnson bought McNeil Laboratories along with the rights to Tylenol.
So I wanted to bring this up real quick because my ex actually posted something. Like the only thing that she posted about the whole Tylenol thing was she was like, autism was discovered in 1911. And Tylenol was made in like 1950. Stop distracting us and release the Epstein files. And so she told me that, and I said, well, they probably would if the Democrats didn't vote against it. It's not up to Trump. So all of the Democrats that are demanding Trump release the Epstein files, there's nothing he can do. They voted against it, and especially the Democrats and a couple of Republicans. She's like, yeah, because they're all on the list too. And Donald Trump's probably on the list as well. And I was like, well, if that was the case, then Kamala Harris should have fucking released it when she was running for fucking president. She had the capability to do so. Hell, Biden had 4 years to fucking do it. She's like, well, they're on the list too. I'm like, look, everybody's on the fucking list, all right? And I don't care who's Republican or Democrat at that point. If you're on the fucking list, you need to go. It's like, look at these crazy ratchet bitches doing this shit. It's gross. So fucking gross. I remember the good old AOL discs. Yes. Same here. TDS was a thing during Trump's first term. Here's the thing, though. Like, it was very light in comparison to what we see right now. Like, most of it was like Democrats bitching and canceling Republicans, right? They weren't to the extremes that they had until COVID fucking hit. And I personally think there might have something to do with that fucking caused all of the Democrat voters in the country to lose their fucking shit. Because, like, take a look at this. It's a repetitive process. You don't get what you want. Shoot a motherfucker. Set shit on fire. Swastikas all over Teslas. It's like a lot of this shit that I've actually been fucking talking about that half the juggalos are too incompetent to understand. It was a joke. Like, it was literally just a joke at the first turn, but now it's become a little bit something more serious that we really need to look into. It's derangement. Like, people are fucking deranged now. Or maybe that's the demon that's always been lurking underneath them, and the death of Charlie Kirk was what unlocked it.
They quickly started selling the drug over the counter beginning in 1959. That arrangement continued for decades, right up until 2 years ago. After nearly 70 years of owning the Tylenol brand, Johnson & Johnson decided to hand off Tylenol to a spin-off company called Kenvue. They also jettisoned a couple other well-known brands, including Band-Aid and Listerine, placed them under the control of Kenvue. Now, whatever you think of Tylenol, you have to admit that this transition came at precisely the right time. In just the last month, Kenvue's stock is down by around 20%. Meanwhile, Johnson & Johnson is down only 1%. In other words, it looks like Johnson & Johnson successfully insulated themselves from the brand damage, or at least a lot of the brand damage.
Is it just me, or does Mount Walsh look completely fucking Canadian? You know, the log cabin and the fucking denim tuxedo. I don't know what that drink is in the background, but I'm just noticing the Canadian tuxedo. Good job there with the fucking, with the fucking with a fucking drip there, bud.
Has resulted from increased government scrutiny on Tylenol. 2 days ago, as you may have seen, that government scrutiny boiled over. The president.
I mean, illegal. You know, as well as I do, there is a definite change in the feel of this energy, and has been for the last 3 weeks. The energy has just been completely off. It's almost as if, like, the negative energy out there in the universe is actually fighting off the good energy, or at least trying to, and this is its last-ditch effort.
The United States, looking directly at the cameras, told pregnant women not to take Tylenol. He said it's too dangerous in the vast majority of cases. Why?
Tylenol.
Don't take it.
During pregnancy can be associated with a very increased risk of autism.
Yeah.
So taking Tylenol is not good. All right, I'll say it. It's not good. For this reason, they are strongly recommending that women limit Tylenol use during pregnancy unless medically necessary. That's, for instance, in cases of extremely high fever, that you feel you can't tough it out, you can't do it. I guess there's that.
For Big Pharma and the media outlets that take millions of dollars in advertising money from Big Pharma, this statement was a 5-alarm fire. Tylenol generates something like $1 billion in annual sales. Every week, 25% of Americans take a drug that contains the active ingredient in Tylenol.
I think it might have been just because of the fact that he said Tylenol. I mean, most people usually trust a brand name, and then there's the cheap fucks like myself who get, like, the store brand. Pain reliever. Extra strength, acetaminophen. And it, like, the off-brand is timely compared to the active ingredient in extra strength Tylenol. So, like, Tylenol is a name brand, and it's like, obviously it's going to be more expensive because you're buying the name and not just the medication.
Any brand damage could quickly amount to massive financial losses. So right away, every network did their best to neutralize the story. Here was CBS, for example.
We begin tonight with the President of the United States promoting a link between the risk of autism and the active ingredient in an over-the-counter pain and fever medicine. The President,
known as
Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy, told pregnant women to only use Tylenol if they can't, quote, tough it out. The announcement of a link is drawing criticism from scientists.
Dude, your fucking necktie is giving me the banned episode of Pokemon vibes. And also, I don't like the shape of your head.
Doctors who say there's not enough evidence to back the claim.
His voice is annoying too.
Contributor Dr. Celine Gounder joins me now. Dr. Gounder, let's just start with the basic question. Is there a proven link between prenatal use of acetaminophen and autism?
No, John, the best evidence we have does not show that Tylenol causes
Oh my
autism.
God.
They cherry-picked a couple studies that they thought backed their claims. They ignored the lion's share of studies that argue against Tylenol causing autism.
Oh my God, where in the fuck did you get your degree from? LaSalle University? Or the University of Phoenix? These are motherfuckers coming from Harvard. I trust a name like Harvard.
The best recent study argues against a causal link. This is a study from Sweden looking at siblings.
Oh yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead and trust a Norse fucking socialist country because reasons.
2.5 million births. And when they compared siblings, so they're controlling for family genetics and other risk factors.
Hey, just like your mom, easy to swallow.
They found no association with autism and ADHD. And I also want to note major medical organizations continue to advise that Tylenol can be used during pregnancy. These are the people who care for and about their patients. They have no political points to gain here.
Yeah, they have no political points to gain, so what are they losing by fucking saying don't take Tylenol like that if you're fucking pregnant? You know what I'm saying? Like, make it make sense.
So the major medical associations disagree with the administration, and of course we can trust them. It's not as if the major medical associations were wrong about COVID, about transgenderism, about SSRIs, ADHD, pretty much every other significant issue in the past 20 years related to medicine. They say Tylenol is safe, and so that's good enough for CBS News.
Yeah.
Here's the part where I should say, I'll happily admit that I take really no position on whether Tylenol indeed causes autism or contributes to it.
But I really like trains.
I don't know enough about the subject to make an informed judgment. I haven't done really any research into it.
I mean, I can't hate on Matt Walsh. I mean, he seems like a pretty cool guy. Lumberjack, but really cool guy.
So, I don't know. I do find it very compelling that even Tylenol agrees that you shouldn't take Tylenol while pregnant. You're not going to hear anybody on CBS News mention this, but Tylenol's Twitter account tweeted this back in 2017 in response to somebody else. We actually don't recommend using any of our products while pregnant. Thank you for taking the time to voice your concerns today.
Huh. Let's go back to the source, shall we? If pregnant or breastfeeding, ask a health professional before use. Yeah, I'm the same way, illegal. Like, okay, I have lower back pain, and I'm dealing with it right now, right? Every once in a while, because of my weight, my upper body weight doesn't sit well with my lower back sometimes. And I've had 3, maybe 4 instances where my fatness has actually caused a lot of lower back pain to a point where I could not even get up off the couch, right? Only then I was willing to take something like naproxen. Okay, or I would take like 2 Aleve. And that's the only way that I'm going to fucking take medicine like that. It's not like I'm going to be like, ow, I have a sore on my finger, I'm going to take some acetaminophen. I don't even fucking take acetaminophen when I have a fever. You know what I do? I take a cold shower. And then after that, I lay on the couch with 4 blankets over me to sweat it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, which, by the way, I'm trying to work on that. Trying to lose weight. Cutting out the fucking as much sugar in my body as I possibly can and drinking actual tea instead of that brisk shit. And I hate tea, and I also really need to fucking start figuring out how to re-regulate my fucking metabolism by eating meals correctly. I need to figure out a time schedule for that shit. I think there might be some Cheerios in my future. I don't know. But yeah, Tylenol actually says, don't take our shit if you're knocked up.
And there are actually a bunch of tweets like this where they say that. So
I need more cabbage or something.
That's very interesting. And now maybe we know why they issued that warning. Just a few weeks ago, a dean at Harvard School of Public Health, Andrea Baccarelli, conducted a study funded by the NIH, which found a, quote, association between Tylenol exposure during pregnancy and increased incidence of neurodevelopment disorders, including autism. He published a study in the journal BMC Environmental Health that's been widely circulated online, and he worked with researchers at the School of Medicine at Mount Sinai. So this wasn't a one-off study from a random crackpot. And again, it's not an old study. It's from a few weeks ago.
Like, wow, who would have fucking thought? Jesus fucking Christ. And believe me when I say, like, it's just astonishing to see the level of fucking insane rebellion coming from the left, where women who are pregnant and haven't tried to fucking kill their baby prenatal are taking Tylenol and killing themselves and their baby just to try to prove somebody wrong, when they, once again, only read the headline and not the entire article. It seems to be a reoccurring theme with these people, where it's like, I heard that Trump said not to take Tylenol while pregnant, so I'm going to take Tylenol while pregnant. Oh, I'm dying of liver failure in the hospital now. Oh, this fucking out of context clip said that Charlie Kirk's a racist. Here's proof that he's not a racist. He's still a racist because somebody from the right said that he isn't racist, so he has to obviously be. Like, are you fucking people stupid? Like, and that's something I'm never gonna fucking shut up on. By the way, like, just to try to change the subject, because I've been on this for like over an hour, just to basically prove a point, let's try to talk about something else here, because like there's some other things that ended up happening. Else that happened this week. Jimmy Kimmel's back. He came back this past Tuesday. Here's his stupid fucking monologue. And I'm only playing this for you because, well, there's a couple of things that he said. And by the way, this was not on any Nexstar or Sinclair things that happened, like on any of those affiliated channels. But surprisingly, he ended up getting a 6.26. No, he ended up getting 6.26 million viewers on this episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live. Now, that is a big jump from over 1.25 million people who normally watch this shit. So it jumps from that to 6.26 million viewers. So, according to the Nielsen ratings, he averages 0.18 on the Nielsen rating scale. And this only jumped him up to 0.89. Let's see. I'm not saying nothing, but there was a guy you know that used to do YouTube who mentioned he was dropping some weight after switching to Fresca and other lifestyle choices a few years ago. Yeah, if I could find some Fresca or some Squirt, I'm definitely down for that. Because I do like Squirt. And I miss that Ninja too. We all do. Okay, what does this beady-eyed rodent have to say? There's not enough blue hair in that audience. All right, now shut the fuck up. Start the movie.
Can we not do that every night now? I mean, I appreciate it, but I also hate it. I really do. We are broadcasting to about 75% of the country from Los Angeles, California tonight. On Monday, we will be in Brooklyn for a week of big shows from the Brooklyn Academy of Music. We have to, what we have to do now is stay on the move so the FCC can't get us. Again, we're taking Guillermo, we're taking Lou, we're taking the band, we're going to take a big bottle of Tylenol just for fun. We really do have a special week next week. We have a great guest.
Okay, I'll admit that made me chuckle a little.
Lineup, including but not limited to Ryan Reynolds, Emily Blunt, Tom Hanks, Bruce Springsteen, Spike Lee.
Wait, Tom Hanks? He's back in the United States? Wait, weren't the pedophile brigade going after Tom Hanks?
Stephen Colbert will be on our show, and a special appearance from former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani. That's right. He won't be a guest. He'll be outside the theater screaming at a pigeon.
Which, okay, I have to laugh at that because I could definitely fucking see that shit. The pigeon owes him money.
One of the things I want to do when we're in New York, and I want you to go with me here, I want to go see the escalator that tried to viciously attack the president this week. Have you been enjoying Trump's most ridiculous distraction from the Epstein files yet? The president claims he's the victim of a triple sabotage during his visit to the United Nations building in New York on Tuesday. The teleprompter wasn't working. There were issues with the sound system, and most nefariously of all, his escalator stopped. The UN said...
Did I download the wrong fucking monologue? I feel like I downloaded the wrong fucking monologue. I'm gonna have to look this up real quick. Because by now he was supposed to be fucking crying and shit.
Men are no longer able to...
Okay, so let's see if I can find that.
Men are no longer able to defend them because...
Hi, we're streaming an
Stop!
event. Here's how we created our...
Stop talking. Let's see. Okay, Jimmy Kimmel's return monologue. Okay. Yeah, I did download the wrong one. So just give me a quick second. I'll just have to re-download the one I was supposed to download. Okay. Shouldn't take me too long. Because, yeah, like, by this time he was supposed to be crying a lot, and I don't see him crying. But, hey, we definitely saw him fucking saying something stupid about Tylenol, and I will admit that fucking, that Rudolph Giuliani line was kind of funny. No, this isn't the return monologue. This is a more recent one. I thought I downloaded the right one, and turns out I was wrong for once in my life. So, hold on a second. All right. Here we go. This is the right one.
Breaking news on Jimmy Kimmel and autism.
Jimmy Kimmel coming back to late night television.
ABC chose to bring back their low rating nighttime host.
We are in for a monologue that will be a marker in late night show history.
It's going to be in a moment.
Yeah, no question. A huge moment in American history.
It's one of the most pivotal moments in broadcast history.
He will be delivering what is being dubbed the most...
Really? You mean as opposed to a man getting shot in the neck on live television? This is more oomph. This has more oomph than that? Really? Huh.
Anticipated monologue in late night in years.
Maybe we should change? Yeah.
From Hollywood, it's Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Okay.
Glenn Powell and music from Sarah McLachlan with Cleto and the Cleto.
Don't care.
And now, Jimmy Kimmel.
Really? All of that for this asshole? Okay, Trump's escalator stops. Let's talk shit about him. Biden struggles on stairs and didn't say. Well, yeah. I mean, like, Biden fell up the stairs to get into Air Force One. Yeah. You know what the beauty of that is, DB? The beauty of that is we still have another 3 years of Trump. That's the beauty of this, is that it feels like 4 years have already passed because of how much shit has fucking happened in the last year. But we still got another 3 years of this. Isn't it weird how time feels like it's going both fast and slow at the same time? That is the power of the Trumpinator. Jimmy! All right, stop cheering for him. Let him fucking read off of his teleprompter.
Thank you. Anyway, as I was saying before I was interrupted.
Ha ha! Trump said that in fucking Pennsylvania during his run. And the funny thing is, like, I read something about this, about him saying that as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted. They were like, oh, he quoted this other person. I think he said Ed Sullivan or something like that. Like he was paying homage to Ed Sullivan. Trump did it first, so fuck off. Way to play second fiddle, boy.
If you're just joining us, we are preempting your regularly scheduled encore episode of Celebrity Family Feud to bring you this special report. I'm happy to be here tonight with you.
Uh-huh. I mean, at this point, I definitely agree with you, Treeline. I give it another 20 years. If anything, I would actually say this. I saw a clip somewhere. Somebody ended up saying Democrats are basically dead in the water at this point. Eventually, all it's going to be is MAGA is probably going to replace the Democratic Party. And it's going to be right for quite some time until there's at least some moderate-leaning left fucking party that'll come in. It's going to be either moderate right or it's going to be a little bit further to the right. Because as far as I see it, yeah, the Democrat Party is fucking cooked. And no matter how many times they try to fucking double down and how hard they fucking try with all of the fucking Gestapo shit that they've been fucking doing in the public, all the fear-mongering coming from their senators and their governors, their mayors, all the strong-arming shit that tactics that they've been trying to fucking do, none of it fucking works, and yet they're too stupid to fucking to see that it's failing. Either that or they're insane, because you know the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And that's exactly the Democrat Party.
I'm not sure who had a weirder 48 hours, me or the CEO of Tylenol. It's been overwhelming. I've heard from a lot of people over the last 6 days. I've heard from all the people in the world over the last 6 days. Everyone I have ever met has reached out 10 or 11 times. Weird characters from my past are the guy who fired me from my first radio job in Seattle, where we are not airing tonight, by the way. Sorry, Seattle. His name is Larry. In 1989, Larry tried to force me to do a bit called Jokes for Donuts, where people would call in with a joke and I would give them donuts. I refused to do it, and then I made a lot of fun of Larry for suggesting it, and eventually Larry fired me, and I had to move back in with my parents. But even he wrote in.
I feel that.
Me up. Thank you, Larry, and I want to thank everyone who checked in.
He's getting ready to tear up again.
Some that I do especially especially want to mention are my fellow late night talk show hosts, my friend Stephen Colbert, who's found himself in this predicament. My friends Jon Stewart, Seth Meyers, Jimmy Fallon, John Oliver, Conan O'Brien, James Corden, Arsenio, Kathy, Wanda, Chelsea, even Jay reached out. I heard from late night hosts in other countries, from Ireland,
Applaud
from
now.
Germany. The guy in Germany offered me a job. Can you imagine? This country has become so authoritarian. The Germans are like, come here, cut loose. My boyhood idols, Howard
Right.
Stern and David Letterman, were very considerate.
Yeah, now he's a victim. For real. Right, he's the fucking victim. After what happened last week.
A group of people that knows what goes into doing a show like this. And I also want to thank all of you.
Cue the fucking waterworks.
Who supported our show, cared enough to do something about it, to make your voices heard so that mine could be heard. I will never forget it. And maybe...
This is bullshit. What he's about to say, some of this is bullshit.
I want to thank the people who don't support my show and what I believe, but support my right to share those beliefs anyway.
See, here's the thing, Jimmy. It's not about whether or not you can say certain things. It was the fact that you were disrespectful to something that is very volatile in this country right now. You were insensitive as fuck. And it wasn't just the people that were upset. It was your bosses who were upset.
Who I never would have imagined, like Ben Shapiro, Clay Travis, Candace Owens, Mitch McConnell, Rand Paul, even my old pal Ted Cruz, who, believe it or not, said something very beautiful on my behalf.
I hate what Jimmy Kimmel said. I am thrilled that he was fired.
Oh, wait, no, not that. The other part.
But let me tell you, if the government gets in the business of saying,
what you
we
can and
don't
can't
like
say,
what you, the media, have said, we're going to ban you from the airwaves if you don't say what we like. That will end up bad for conservatives.
I don't think I've ever said this before, but Ted Cruz is right. He's absolutely right. This affects all of us.
Once again, even Ted Cruz, which, let's be honest here, Ted Cruz can sometimes be a fucking dumbass. If you know, if you've paid attention, that motherfucker is sometimes kind of stupid. Probably explains why he keeps losing primaries. Anyways, here's the thing. Once again, it's not about censorship. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like you're missing the fucking mark, all of you. It's not about censorship. See, here's the thing. You are free to say that shit, but does that mean that you don't get to be accountable for your actions? It's not like when you have freedom of speech, yeah, you can say whatever you want without having to go to jail. That's what freedom of speech is. You are free to say whatever you want. You can say bad things about other people, the government. It's all protected under free speech. However, there are certain consequences that come with the things that you say. And getting fired by your superiors is definitely one of those things. I'm pretty sure that Bob Iger even knows that. Your boss.
Including him. I mean, think about it. If Ted Cruz can't speak freely, then he can't cast spells on the Smurfs. Even though I don't agree with many of those people on most subjects, some of the things they say even make me want to throw up. It takes courage for them to speak out against this administration, and they did, and they deserve credit for it. And thanks.
Yeah, because Donald Trump was the one who fucking said that shit, right? He's the one who fucking said no, he's not allowed to talk.
And do not say on television, and that we have to stand up to it. I've been hearing a lot about what I need to say and do tonight. And the truth is, I don't think what I have to say is going to make much of a difference. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. I have no illusions about changing anyone's mind. But I do want to make something clear because it's important to me as a human. And that is, you understand that it was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man.
Okay, I'm pretty sure in parentheses in the teleprompter it said start crying here.
I don't think there's anything funny about it. I posted a message on Instagram on the day he was killed, sending love to his family and asking for compassion, and I meant it. I still do. Nor was it my intention to blame any specific group for the actions of what it was obviously a deeply disturbed individual. That was really the opposite of the point I was trying to make, but I understand that to some that felt either ill-timed or unclear, or maybe both. And for those who think I did point a finger, I get why you're upset. If the situation was reversed, there's a good chance I'd have felt the same way.
That's it! That's it! See, here's the thing. He gets it! Even here, it just shows that he understood exactly where he went wrong. But he had to fucking blame Trump and blame the administration before he even got to the actual part. So how the fuck am I supposed to believe what he is saying is truly in his heart? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he never apologized. You know, like Jim Brewer ended up fucking making a point on his podcast. He ended up saying, I forgive you. And I'm pretty sure Erica Kirk does too. But I don't trust you.
Many friends and family members on the other side who I love and remain close to, even though we don't agree on politics at all. I don't think the murderer who shot Charlie Kirk represents anyone. This was a sick person who believed violence was a solution, and it isn't. Ever.
Well, yeah, violence to end the fascism. He fought fascism with actual fascism. That's a left-wing ideology, and it's been pointed out multiple fucking times.
And also, selfishly, I am a person who gets a lot of threats. I get many ugly and scary threats against my life, my wife, my
Hashtag me too.
kids, my coworkers, because of what I choose to say. And I know those threats don't come from the kind of people on the right who I know and love. So that's what I wanted to say on that subject. But I don't want to make this about me because, and I know this is what people say when they make things about them, but I really don't. This show is not important. What is important is that we get to live in a country that allows us to have a show like this.
And then he backpedals back to that shit. Right? He goes back to blame Trump, blame the administration, violation of freedom of speech and expression, and blah, blah, blah. I didn't mean to say the things that I meant to say in the context of which I said it, but it's not my fault that I got kicked off my own fucking show. Right on.
I've had the opportunity to meet and spend time with comedians and talk show hosts from countries like Russia, countries in the Middle East, who tell me they would get thrown in prison for making fun of those in power, and worse than being thrown in prison. They know how lucky we are here. Our freedom to speak is what they admire most about this country.
That's what freedom of speech actually is in this country. We can say whatever the fuck we want without having to worry about getting thrown in fucking prison. That's it. But when you, and I said this last week, when you represent a company, ABC, Disney, and you say something that your higher-ups don't like, the ones that allow you to say the things that you say on air, and they feel like this is justifiable enough to pull you off, they have the right to do so, especially with FCC regulations and blah, blah, blah.
And that's something I'm embarrassed to say I took for granted until they pulled my friend Steven off the air. and try to coerce the affiliates who run our show in the cities that you live in to take my show off the air. That's not legal. That's not American. That is un-American, and it is so dangerous.
God.
What do you think about this? Should the government be allowed to regulate which podcasts the cell phone companies and Wi-Fi providers are allowed to let you download to make sure they serve the public interest? Do you think that sounds crazy?
That's not FCC regulated.
10 years ago, this sounded crazy. Brendan Carr, the chairman of the FCC, telling an American company, we can do this the easy way or the hard way, and that these companies can find ways to change conduct and take action on Kimmel, or there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead, in addition to being a direct violation of the First Amendment, is not a particularly intelligent threat to make in public. Ted Cruz said he sounded like a mafioso. Although, I don't know, if you want to hear a mob boss make a threat like that, you have to hide a microphone in a deli and park outside in a van with a tape recorder all night long. This genius said it on a podcast. Brendan Carr is the most embarrassing car Republicans have embraced since this one. And that's saying something.
Yeah, that used to be your shit, though. So, you know. And you're right, he never fucking apologized. Well, what's interesting to me, though, is like, going back to the dumb, stupid Shelby Campbell chick, which, let's go to that chick again, because I'm sure you guys forgot about this by now.
Hey MAGA, how bad does it hurt? The Jimmy Kimmel's back, but you guys can't get your person back.
Evil. Right? So here's the thing about that, right? She, alongside with a lot of other people, were bragging about the fact that the return episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live made it so Jimmy Kimmel got a huge spike, right? Now that was Tuesday. We also had Wednesday's episode, Thursday's episode, Friday's episode. And according to somebody that I watch here on YouTube who goes by the name Kazumi, he used to be like moderate right, and now he's more left-leaning because he sees problems with Trump and all this other shit. So he apparently was happy about Kimmel coming back and the large numbers, and just like everyone else on the left, yeah, this is demon possession, I shit you not. Just like everybody else on the left, I guess they weren't thinking in long term. Because I believe I'm not sure, maybe I called this last week, but I said that Jimmy Kimmel's high numbers is just, if he comes back, he's going to get high numbers really fast, and then everybody's going to lose interest because of how quick everybody fucking moves on to the next thing. And Jimmy Kimmel now is probably going to be a forgotten thing. Where's the hashtag We Are Jimmy Kimmel from the left? I don't see it anymore. They moved on to the next thing. So here's what Kazumi had to say.
Hey there. Well, I had just made a video talking about how Jimmy Kimmel's ratings aren't the drop in 70% of his viewers like what a number of people on X have been saying. But they were referring to since that blockbuster show that he had over 6 million viewers.
Uh-huh.
When I did a search on this on Google, I mean, because nobody on X was giving any sources for their information. So I started looking it up. And the entire first page of results on Google, including the AI result at the top, we're saying no, he hasn't lost that. He's gotten more viewers than ever.
Yeah, because like I showed the picture last week where it showed like his annual average. If I'm not mistaken, I think I showed that last week. I didn't save the actual picture. But last week I showed that he didn't have very high ratings. Let's see. Yeah, I show that he hasn't had very high ratings in the last fucking decade. Like, it's gone down. See if I can find it. Let's see. Where the hell did I see it? Okay, so according to this, second quarter average in 2025, he had 1.6 million viewers. His return episode, he got 6.3. I wish I could find that fucking photo. That I showed last week. I don't remember what website I looked at. Not series graph. Nope, that's not the one. Ah, here it is. Found it. Okay, so I'm going to try to save this and let's put it up on here right now. So we'll just go ahead and show the ratings right here. So here's Jimmy Kimmel Live since 2010, 2011. His highest rating ever was 2012, 2013 when he shifted from 12:30 at night to 11:35, and his highest ratings for his average ratings for that was 0.71. So at the time he was getting a fuck ton of viewers, about the same, about 6 million, 6.3 million. Maybe not even that. I think maybe 5.5 million people watched him. And then as time has gone by, this dip has happened. And part of that is due to the fact that social media has become a bigger fucking thing to look at. More people watch YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter and all the other social media apps that have video than they will watch this shit. Hell, I don't even have cable downstairs, right? I watch stuff on apps all the fucking time. As a matter of fact, YouTube is the most viewed fucking social media app with video quality on it. So, let's go back to Kazumi, because I know that he has some stuff to say.
Hey there. Well, I had, then over the past 10 years, but, I decided that let's continue, let's go to the next page.
Okay.
And there ends up being some articles talking about how he has, since his initial comeback, his viewership has went down significantly.
Okay.
I don't know whether the 70% is completely accurate. Maybe it's lower. Maybe, maybe it's not quite what they were saying.
What makes this interesting listening to Kazumi talk about this shit is the fact that he looks nervous saying what he's saying. Like there's a look of concern on his face. And don't get me wrong, like I've talked to Kazumi in the past. He's a good dude, in my personal view. But just this, the way that he's reacting to what he's saying right now, it's like almost as if to be like, what I'm about to say is going to show how over the fucking world is.
But they have went down. And so,
yeah.
You know, I thought that the MAGA people on X were putting out fake news.
Yeah.
Well, it ends up they might have been right.
You want to know how we know we're right? And we don't even need to fucking show receipts at that, because there's a pattern to you people on the left. You guys have squirrel brain like a motherfucker. You see one thing it's almost like putting 3 Pokemon dolls in front of a baby and making it choose. That's basically what it is. It's like Jimmy Kimmel was the hot ticket item. All you people mostly care about is trends. Like being pregnant and eating fucking Tylenol and posting the video of it happening on TikTok. That became the next fucking thing after Jimmy Kimmel came back. They're like, okay, Jimmy Kimmel came back. Our job is over. Now on to this fucking shiny thing like down here. That's the reason why we knew, without having to look up records, Jimmy Kimmel's shit was going to fall faster than a fat bitch on an ice rink. Because the pattern is consistent.
So, I'm very disappointed in Google with this.
Why are you disappointed in Google? Google's not the reason why a whole bunch of people watched Jimmy Kimmel live when he returned and then slowly went away. And now Jimmy Kimmel's going to fall back into obscurity, and then ABC's going to wait out the contract, which I believe expires in 2027, and then he's gone. This really shows you people didn't care about what happened. The left fucking applauded Jimmy Kimmel for what he said about Charlie Kirk. That's the reason why we were upset. It didn't... The fucking free speech thing, the Donald Trump thing, was just a red fucking herring. It was a smoke screen. You motherfuckers are too stupid to see that shit, or you're just ignorant. Take your pick.
I don't like the fact that they only let you see so many results per page.
That's irrelevant.
I used to be able to, set it for 100. I used to get 100 results per page.
That's irrelevant.
But, they've made it so you can't do that anymore. It's like 10 per page.
That's not the reason why Jimmy Kimmel's fucking numbers dropped over the week.
Is it 10? I think it's 10.
15?
Let's see this again.
Who cares?
Yeah, 10 per page. And you can't change that anymore. So I didn't think it would be that important to click the next button, thinking that the 10 results they gave were good enough. But they're not. And I've learned something out of this.
That it's Trump's fault. Trump controls Google now.
So maybe some of these MAGA people were right about Jimmy Kimmel.
That, Democrats, is called accountability. Maybe we were right. Huh.
I'm just yet again disappointed in Google. Oddly enough,
I'll get you next time, Google. Next time.
One of the responses, one of the comments on my last video was talking about Johnny Carson. Hey, they miss Johnny Carson.
Uh-huh.
And I simply had a reply saying, yeah, I miss Johnny Carson as well, but in more recent years, I miss Craig Ferguson. Craig Ferguson was awesome.
I agree. I thought it was cool whenever Craig Ferguson had a chick on the couch, and the fucking skeleton robot thing would always hit on him, and then he would lure them back over to him by pretending to sound like Sean Connery.
He eventually quit doing those shows because he got tired of it. He didn't get fired or anything, but he got tired of it. But I wish he wouldn't have, because he was genuinely funny.
I mean, yeah, I get that, but when you don't have a heart in something and you see no reason to continue, then why continue?
Just like Johnny Carson was genuinely funny.
Yeah.
But, yeah, YouTube hid the comment immediately. And all I did was say that I miss Johnny Carson and liked Craig Ferguson. They deleted that, though.
Okay.
Or not deleted it, they may have hidden it.
What does this have to do with Jimmy Kimmel?
For like 20 minutes. You know? Same problems again. I'm disappointed.
Okay, so maybe that's all that it is. But yeah, even Kazumi, homie could see that properly. And I think I called that shit. I was like, if Jimmy Kimmel does come back, there's going to be a huge explosion of viewers, but then it's just going to tamper off, and it's just going to go back to the way it was. And the reason being is because this motherfucker's got a goldfish brain. They've already forgotten about Jimmy Kimmel by now, and it was less than a week. Eventually, it's just going to tamper off. He's going to continue to have the same 0.16 on the Nielsen ratings, you know, like 1.25 million fucking people. 1,125,000 people on average fucking watching that shit. Okay? Yay, good for Jimmy Kimmel. But basically, I personally think that ABC and Bob Iger from Disney took a call. They might have misjudged it, trying to use what he said about Charlie Kirk as a means to pull him off the air because he was getting less ratings than fucking Stephen Colbert. And Stephen Colbert is currently the highest rating fucking late night talk show host between him, Kimmel, and Fallon. And he's getting fucking kicked off once his contract is up. The same thing's going to happen to Jimmy Kimmel now. He's just going to fucking waver off with the same ratings. And once his contract's up, that's it. No more Jimmy Kimmel Live. Not to say that I want that to happen, but it most likely will fucking happen. And in more news when it concerns late night shows, speaking of Stephen Colbert, this doesn't surprise me, but he ended up having Gavin Newsom as a host on one of his episodes this past week. Dumbest fucking shit I heard. More cowbell. Oh, Stannis, you know what I'm about to fucking talk about then, you know what I'm saying?
Thanks, everybody. No, sit down. We gotta go. Yeah, we gotta go.
Type shit.
Just a few minutes, we're gonna have Priscilla Presley out here, but my first guest tonight is the former mayor of San Francisco and currently in his second term as the governor of California. Please welcome to the Late Show, Governor Gavin Newsom.
Bum, 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 bum. He does have nice hair, I'm not going to lie. All right.
Unbelievable.
All right, everybody, get your fucking helmets on because you're about to want to bang your head into the wall.
Look at that. Governor, thanks for being here.
It is good to be with you.
This is my first time talking to you not in character. You were on the old show.
I was on the
I
old
was in
show
character,
a
and
few years ago.
he did not care for you. Listen, I'll just cards on the table. You wish you were on Kimmel tonight. I wish I was on Kimmel tonight. But thank you for being here.
I'll get the hell off set then. I gotta
Exactly. Lock the doors.
Lock the doors.
You've
What?
been a lot of attention lately. I'm sure you're well aware.
Like, what the fuck does that mean?
You've got this new communication strategy, or at least new for a Democrat. It's called, I'm not pronouncing this correctly, being interesting. And when did it occur to you? When did the lightning bulb go on over your head that perhaps you should do something that was kind of funny and makes a point? Where did this strategy come from? Because let's give the people an idea of what it is.
Yeah, what do we got?
Here's an example of you aping someone's style. I'm not going to say who. And it says, wow, what an honor on Mount Rushmore. Thank you. Okay.
So basically, you're just biting off of stuff that Trump already tried to do to be funny, and now you think this is funny?
Wow, an honor. Thank you, Nobel Peace Prize. So
feels good.
It does.
It does. It feels
congratulations.
Good. By the way, thank you for acknowledging. Yes,
well,
congratulations.
you got to. You earned
It's
that.
in order.
You earned that. Sure.
Yeah. No. And that. Well, look.
Yeah.
The strategy is inspiration, desperation, right? The two driving forces of life. And everything we were doing to try to break through wasn't working anymore.
I mean, basically what he's saying is like, I'm desperate for attention. This is what I have to do in order to seem a modicum of interesting.
And so we decided to do something, to your point, a novel called Humor. And I got to say, oftentimes Democrats, we're a little, just
the eyes.
We're not as humorous as we should be.
A little stiff.
It could be a little stiff.
Like, you might not be able to see it because of how big that screen is, but I see his eyes. Like, his eyes literally look like serpent eyes. When you nut, but she's still sucking. Oh God, I need to caption that. Oh God, life's little unscripted moments. I always pause these at the best fucking times, don't I? But oh my God, dude, his eyes literally look fucking demonic. Like they are red and snake eyes. He's definitely a reptilian.
Under the skin of the President of the United States and some of my friends.
Some of your friends? Who are these friends?
Some of my friends.
Who are these friends?
And some of my friends on Pravda Fox.
Yeah. Matter of fact, here we are. I think this is Dana Perino. She's not too thrilled with you.
No.
Gavin Newsom, and why am I giving him advice? You have to stop it with the Twitter thing. I don't know where his wife is. If I were his wife, I would say, "What? You are making a fool of yourself. Stop it."
She has to.
See, like, if I was at that point, I would have, if I was Gavin, I would have been like, it was her idea.
Have some sense. There's no way. She's a very smart person. She has to have some sense of the irony of that critique.
But it wasn't even Dana. It was Hannity, all these guys, outraged, offended, disgusted, because we put a mirror up to Trump and the absurdity of what's going on in this country, the absurdity of Donald Trump.
You know what the most hilarious thing about that is, though? Like, he's still your president, for one. For two, he's on his second term, so what does it matter to him? Why? You're wasting all of your time on trying to dunk on Donald Trump when you should be focusing on the actual goal, which is to continue to ruin California.
The absurdity of these networks playing into it.
What do you mean, these networks? All we have on here is Fox. You have the rest. You demonic fucking alien man.
Just because it's ridiculous. Just because this can't be normalized doesn't mean you can't make some coin on it, because you've got some pretty good merch here too.
No, thank you for that.
I like this one.
Newsom
was right about everything.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, hold on a second. Okay, that's better.
Everything.
And that's
No more bullshit.
There's that. There's, by the way, the Bible it's on our Patriot store if you want to check it out.
You have your own Bible?
We have our own Bible, but it's sold out.
Of
It's
course.
not
I can
available.
imagine that thing
But
went right
there's
off the
others.
presses.
There's tank tops with Trump's not hot, and there's a
tank top.
fuck?
I like this one. I like this T-shirt
else you
here. This is you. This is you. It's really
that was a
it's
special
a
moment
moving
for me.
scene.
Yeah, it was very.
It's
very
you.
moving.
It's you
Yeah.
being blessed.
Yeah.
It's being blessed by the late great Hulk Hogan, Tucker Carlson, and Kid Rock.
Gavin, I don't know if you heard any information about the Hulkster and shit. Is that a good idea? That is a funny ass shirt. Yeah, I get it, but it's like, dude, you're basically just trying to do the same shit that Trump does, but Trump is a master troll. Okay, like you saw, did you see that video that Peter Ducey put out where it like it shows like the Hall of Presidents and shit, and it shows pictures of all the presidents, and then when you get to Joe Biden, it just shows the auto pen, and then it goes back to Trump.
The Kid Rock. What a moving moment this must have been.
It was very moving. In fact, I'm very emotional just seeing that.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's also that one T-shirt that fucking Alex Jones has of Bill Clinton, and it just says rape on the bottom. Yeah, Cenk Uygur really liked that one.
And that you had, and that Michelangelo was on hand to paint it for you. It was extraordinary.
Pretty special.
The prices must be.
Didn't Kamala pull some dumb shit like that? Like her whole pitch as a candidate was basically what Trump was doing. Yeah, like she mirrored Trump. Like Trump was just like, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. She was like, I'll do no tax on tips, no tax on overtime too. But it'll be better because I'm black. And a woman. Yeah, that made sense. So now Gavin Newsom is basically playing off of a similar playbook.
So it's 1999.
Okay. Steve Bannon has said he's admired what's happened for you. Your approval rating has gone up 18% since the summer. Nicely done. Now.
Yeah, but when you're losing constituents because of some fucked up shit that some psychopath with a rifle fucking completed, what does that really say about your percentage increase?
Before I get to Bannon, I'm just curious. I mean, we enjoy this. Why do you think it so deeply resonates with people? Why do you think this has made such a difference? I mean, you're glad it is, but what do you think people are responding to?
Just the fight. I think, this has been a tough time.
I'm aware.
But a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress.
A lot of psychos wearing blue hats that don't say Trump on them.
A lot of folks that honestly just don't know we're going to get our country back. And I get it. This guy is flooding the zone. He's dominating the narratives. Facts don't seem to matter.
Do you want to be the pot or the fucking kettle? That's been the narrative of the left since 2015. Facts don't matter. You try to pull this fucking Trump's a Nazi shit, Trump's Hitler, Trump's a racist, he's a sexist, he's a homophobe, he's a bigot, he's a fucking transphobe, he's all these other things, and you've been pushing that narrative when it's clearly not fucking true because everybody loved Donald Trump prior to 2015. And you've been pulling that shit for 10 fucking years. Your whole party. And you want to talk about how facts don't matter to the Republicans? What fucking plate of dog shit do you expect the American people to fucking eat?
And Democrats, frankly, have had a difficult time pushing back.
Oh, like, you remember that time where a black guy fucking died from a fentanyl overdose? And so, like, half the country ended up rioting and burned a whole bunch of shit? You remember that? And you guys try to say that that was peaceful. Or you remember that time where California burnt to the fucking ground? And you didn't know what to do because you forgot to put water in the fire hydrants? You remember that shit? You should. It happened pretty fucking recently. Some of your more friendly states like Washington and Oregon tried to bring their firefighters down to California to save the Palisades, and they got stopped at the fucking border. You remember that shit, you fucking demon? LOL, just kidding. People died. Dude, even my fucking city was affected. There was a riot here in Grand Rapids, too. I remember fucking, like, covering that shit live as it happened.
And Democrats feel that, times there's sort of this weakness that dominates our brand. And
Yeah, it's called fucking low-key racism, bigotry, and fucking sexism and shit like that. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day who lives in Texas, and a whole bunch of people fucking automatically assume that he's on the left just because he's fucking Latino. And when he said that he fucking voted for Trump, they all fucking told him, they called him all sorts of racist Mexican shit, fucking told him that he's going to get deported back to Mexico. As a matter of fact, they were getting ready to fucking call ICE, and they're Democrats. I can't tell you how many times that I've seen where people have said that because of the actions of what happened with Tyler Robinson shooting Charlie Kirk, that there have been Democrats that have said that they want to now start registering as Republicans, and people on the left would start using sexist, racist, and homophobic slurs towards said people. I have seen black people on the left call black people on the right coons. I have seen women being fucking besmirched because of the fact that they're Republican. You want to fucking tell me this shit? Fuck you, Gavin Newsom. You live in a bubble and you don't see what's really going on. Your constituents are hypocrites.
Our party, and I think what people appreciate is that we're willing to fight, and not only fight symbolically by having a little bit fun, but fight substantively. We have 41 lawsuits against this son of a bitch.
And you're not going to win a single one of them.
We're pushing back and we're winning, and we're filling a void on a lot of issues. I'm out here.
You are the void.
California is the tentpole in terms of climate policy in this country. As he walks away from Paris, he walks away from leadership, moral authority around the rest of the world. California is trying to assert itself on health policy. Same thing. We created this West Coast collaborative. We're not going to listen to this guy. We're not going to listen to him trying to pronounce acetaminophen, or we're not.
And he fucked it up too. He fucked that up and he wants to talk shit simultaneously. Like, the fuck?
The rest of the world, California is trying to assert itself on health policy. Same
right here.
Thing. We created this West Coast collaborative. We're not going to listen to this guy. We're not going to listen to him trying to pronounce acetaminophen, or we're not going to sit there, listen to all that. No one trusts the guy.
We have to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more. Gavin Newsom, everybody, stick around.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Now, we're just going to go ahead and skip. Like, there was another piece of this puzzle, but we're just going to skip to part 3, where he talks about the ICE agents and going to California and all that shit.
Later. Hey, everybody, it's Gavin Newsom, governor of California. I wanted to ask you about Prop 50, but before I do that, you raised a bigger question about, like, who will win in the midterms, to the idea that perhaps we won't have free and fair and open elections
we'll have
in 2026.
A Putin-type election.
How would you imagine that would happen? Where do you see the sort of...
Once again, Russiagate and all that other stuff, like kind of just trying to throw back to that. He fucked up San Francisco as mayor, and retards still voted him governor. And even after fucking up California, people are dumb enough to vote him as president. Yeah, but he has nice hair, and look at that smile. You know? He's got those fucking hypnotist eyes, you know what I'm saying?
The breadcrumbs to that right now.
Well, I mean,
it's the ultimate fear is that you no longer lose you no longer have your democracy to be able to make change peacefully.
he knows he's going to lose the midterm elections. He's underwater, and he's weak in every category. Donald Trump is weakness masquerading as strength.
I don't see how that is. Like, this dude is fucking dumb. Like, he's blowing smoke up everyone's ass, and people are just accepting it. Dude, I swear to God, dude, the people of California are a completely different breed. I think I saw a video where, like, at this point, 45% of all Californians want to secede from the United States. Like, they think that it would be fine if it happened, but there's a lot of positive stuff for California and a lot of negative stuff for California if that were to happen. And the same thing with the United States as well, because we'd be losing a lot of fucking ports. We smoked out Gray, but I'm not that far out.
He's weak in every key category. That's a fact. And I think it's an important fact. He knows that. And that's why he dialed not for votes, but he dialed for seats. He said he's, quote unquote, entitled to 5 seats. Called Greg Abbott, who was totally supine, said, yes, sir, and gave him the 5 seats in Texas to change the maps. He did the same thing in Indiana, Missouri. He's doing the same thing in Florida.
Oh, wait a minute. Changing the maps? You mean like what the Democrats have been doing for fucking ages to try to get a lead? Didn't the map of fucking Chicago change recently? I saw a video on that where Chicago ended up fucking changing. So there's like little thin lines that are going south, and it kind of like branches out. So that way major heavy hitting cities are fucking blue represented. So you want to talk about fucking changing the maps, and now you're complaining that the Republicans are doing that shit? Wow. Just fucking wow.
Likely Ohio, and we'll see what happens in Utah.
What do you mean in Ohio? Ohio's been a red state for God knows how long. And not to mention, dude, like it like a lot of this stuff, like the map changing that he mentioned that I just talked about, it's mostly fucking Democrat cities. Democrats fucking have shifted the maps around so that way major cities, even major cities in fucking red states. Like, you may have a red state like Ohio, but a lot of the major cities vote blue. And they're, it goes into a lot of the major metropolitan cities, major cities in each fucking state. So like, you have most of SoCal, right? That's where the most amount of people fucking live. And that's where they're going to get a majority of the blue votes. That's why the entirety of California is a blue state. Because San Francisco, San Diego, Santa Ana, Hollywood, Los Angeles, you got all of these fucking cities in SoCal that are all bunched together, and they're all blue cities. But then you also have like NorCal and the middle part of California where a majority of that is fucking red. But I'll tell you this, there's the red is starting to spread in fucking California. And with how fucked up California has become, especially SoCal, I mean, we've seen it. We've seen fucking shanty towns in like, like just tent neighborhoods and all sorts of fucked up shit. Not limited to the Palisades that just recently fucking burned down. But there's a lot of fucking spots in California where it's just a bunch of hobos. A bunch of fucking homeless people living in tents. No jobs. Like, Gavin, you fucked that state up completely. Anyways.
And Democrats, we're going to hold hands, talk about the way the world should be, say it's...
No, you're going to hold fucking arms and try to shoot Republicans. It's already started.
just so unfair, maybe write an op-ed. Meanwhile, this guy's consolidating power. And so for us, we decided...
Yeah, for the next 3 years, and then after that he goes away. Forever. And that's the thing that you motherfucking idiots don't seem to understand. You guys talk like that Trump is actually trying to fucking be president for a third term. Which constitutionally is impossible.
Decided to push back and fight back.
How demented do you have to be?
That's the tip of the iceberg, rigging the midterm election because he knows otherwise he'll lose.
Here's the thing, though, about the midterm elections, dumb fuck. Republicans don't necessarily vote for the fucking midterms. You guys win the midterms all the time. However, we have decided as a party that this time we're actually going to be putting a little bit of focus in on that. So like 2026 is going to be a year where a lot of Republicans are going to be fucking paying attention. And we're definitely going to try to make sure that we ensure that we keep all the branches red. We haven't forgotten. Y'all squirrel brains, I don't think you got a chance.
When we kicked off the campaign, and this is important for people to understand, when we kicked it off at the Democracy Center in Los Angeles, he sent out ICE and Border Patrol to intimidate folks from walking in to our event.
No, just the illegal ones.
He ended up arresting this poor soul that was just trying to sell strawberries as collateral damage to intimidate us. That is a preview, Stephen, of things to come in voting booths and polling places across this country.
There's a little piece of information that you might not be telling the American people, Gavin. What do you think that might be? Chat? What do you think that little piece of information that he is choosing to omit from this explanation is? What purpose would ICE have to be at that location? What is the purpose of ICE? I'll just play this while you guys answer the question.
He federalized 4,000 National Guard in my state. He still has hundreds of federalized National Guard. He sent the United States Marines, not overseas, but to an American city, 700 active duty Marines. He sent the military to American cities to police American citizens.
Yeah, because apparently your fucking police ain't doing its job.
And the ICE issue is alarming beyond words.
How so? They're just doing what they're supposed to be doing, and the thing that they've been doing since ICE was a thing. So why is it a problem when Trump does it, but the deporter-in-chief Barack Obama, Barry did it? Barry did it best. Didn't hear a fucking thing from you when you were mayor. What did you have to say about people getting deported when Barack Obama was in office? What did you have to say when fucking people were getting deported while fucking Trump was in office, even though the border was open? If I heard it properly, I believe the task is to remove illegals from the country. Ding, ding, ding. Johnny, tell him what he's won. Good job there, Treeline. You are on the mark. That is exactly what it is.
It is the largest private domestic army of its type, police force anywhere in the world. He'll have 30,000 people that increasingly appear to be swearing an oath of office to him, not the Constitution of the United States.
If I'm not a military man, but I assume that when they are swearing an oath to the Constitution, it is also beholden to the person in charge, which would be, I don't know, the President of the United fucking States. And that's not necessarily saying what he says go, but they do swear an oath. I'm not sure. I don't remember what that oath is. I'm going to actually fucking look that up. See if I can look that up. All right, let's see what I can find. Okay, the U.S. military oath requires service members to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, bear true faith and allegiance to it, and obey the orders of the President and their appointed officers as outlined in regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. This pledge, known as the Oath of Enlistment, is taken by all service members upon joining the armed forces. So, you want to run that by us again, Gavin?
Police force anywhere in the world. He'll have 30,000 people that increasingly appear to be swearing an oath of office to him, not the Constitution of the United States. Again, wake up to what's going on in this country.
Does that not sound like fear-mongering to you? Because that sounds like fear-mongering to me. It sounds to me like he's trying to make it sound like Trump is in violation of the American Constitution and he's fucking like trying to be a dictator. If anything, I would think that with the military oath of enlistment that I just read, what it is, or what it's for, I should say, okay. So here, let's see. Let's see if I can find this. Yeah, the oath of enlistment is a military oath made by members of the United States Armed Forces who enlist. So this is the enlistment oath. Okay, so he did the National Guard, right? He mentioned the National Guard. The National Guard has a slightly different version. So I'm just reading this. I'm not actually enlisting. I just want to point that out, just in case Gestapo tries to come after me. I, state name of enlistee, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the state of applicable state against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to them, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the Governor of applicable state, and the orders of the officers appointed over me according to law and regulations, and then so help me God is in parentheses. The actual enlistment oath ends up saying, I, state name or of enlistee, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to the regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice, so help me God. That's what it says. So with National Guard, basically it's like this, okay? There is a statute of limitations, I believe is the phrase that I want to say. Basically, Gavin Newsom can fucking appoint the National Guard to things that he needs to, if he needs to. However, federal law supersedes state law, right? Which basically means that since the President of the United States is federal, being a governor is just state, if the president wants to fucking use the National Guard for something, even if the governor opposes to it, they still have to obey the President of the United States. Gavin here, it seems to me like his level of office has gone to his fucking head. And he thinks that he's the one who's in charge. You're not President of the United States yet, Newsom. So you don't have the fucking power and authority that Donald Trump has. Suck a dick.
So one of the things...
That's right, clap for me.
One of the things that you just did on that subject, over the weekend, you signed a new California law that bans ICE from concealing their identities, which is a great idea. And I'm just curious. I mean, there's all these
Stupid.
reasons why you would want to do it for the population that is actually being policed by them. But what I don't understand, whenever I hear that they want to hide their identities, is why don't any public safety officer understand that they are safer by identifying themselves? Because America's a place loaded for guns, and heaven forbid anything should happen to one of these guys because they were masked, no ID, windowless van. That just looks like an attack for their own safety.
I couldn't agree.
Shouldn't these people show who they are and normalize their behavior so that people aren't terrified?
This is the worst part about it. I had deep empathy for these poor folks in the National Guard. These are, by the way, these are our neighbors.
Okay, so I want to answer a couple of things with what Stephen Colbert fucking said. Originally, they didn't have masks. Originally, they did show their badges. They had their IDs on them. Until certain people on the left got upset, possibly due to fear-mongering coming from the left. And these motherfuckers started to get doxxed. So that puts their fucking families at risk because, names and phone numbers and addresses are all public information, right? So when you get your information doxxed, that puts your family at fucking risk. So in order to alleviate that, they stopped concealing their faces. They stopped wearing their badges. They stopped having their identification. If anybody is actually afraid of ICE, it's because they know for a fact that they're not here legally. Because if you are a legal citizen of the United States of America, you have nothing to fear. You literally have nothing to fear. If you're here illegally, and you know you're here illegally, that's when it becomes a problem. But when you have people like Gavin Newsom here, and Jasmine Crockett, and AOC, and Bernie Sanders, and Nancy Pelosi, and Chuck Schumer, and all of these other people that are blue rep, constantly putting fear into the hearts of citizens by all of the things that they fucking said over the last 10 years about Donald Trump being a Nazi, being a dictator, being an authoritarian. Just like Stephen Colbert did last week. Just like Jimmy Kimmel did this past Tuesday. Who's the one that's putting fear into the hearts of the American people? Because we all know that when a group of people are scared, they get fucking stupid. And it's easy to fucking manipulate people with fear. Hence the reason why the Patriot Act got signed after 9/11. Don't think that a lot of these people don't know how this game is being played. We see it being played. And what's sad is that people are fucking ignorant and stupid and complacent to not see it. And then I get yelled at by my friends at the gathering for supporting Donald Trump.
National Guard men and women are teachers, firefighters, paramedics. These were the folks that were helping us with the recovery in LA, being used as pawns.
See, here's the thing, though, you stupid son of a bitch. If you just let well enough alone and let ICE do its fucking job and not have regular Americans and legal immigrants that came here the right way instead of trying to skip the fucking line, if they just left well enough alone and let ICE do the job that they were supposed to fucking do, instead of trying to attack the police, attack the National Guard, attack members of ICE, you wouldn't have this problem. Simple enough as it is. You beady, snake-eyed son of a bitch.
The same thing for a lot of these federal agents. I have deep empathy to your point. We're losing confidence and trust in law enforcement. It's having an impact, a chilling impact across the spectrum.
Wait. Now they're having fucking loss of support of fucking police and shit? What about ACAB? That happened like 5 years ago.
for other local law enforcement agencies. Look, we had a 15-year-old disabled kid in Los Angeles was waiting for his sister to come out of high school, and they pulled out guns on this kid. They pulled out guns and handcuffed this young child. That's happening in the United States of America. Masked men jumping out of unmarked cars, people disappearing, no due process.
Yeah, because they're illegal.
No oversight, zero accountability happening in the United States of America today. People ask, well, is authoritarianism, you're being hyperbolic? Bull, we're being hyperbolic. If you're a black and brown community, it's here.
Oh, you kiss your mother with that mouth? You know you're not supposed to say that on TV.
In this country. And so
You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of when Al Gore was trying to run for president of the United States and they finally pulled that legislative branch out of his ass and he loosened up a little bit and he was like trying to be Mr. Cool. And it didn't work for him because he's a fucking stick up his ass lame fuck. I feel that's the same way with Gavin Newsom. They must be making money off the illegals is the only reason why I could see why they don't want them deported. Well, you see, here's the thing. Okay? And I'm going to use the words of Kelly Osbourne. If they get rid of all of the illegals, then who's going to clean their toilets? Who's going to pick their fucking fruits? Who's going to do their yard work for $5 an hour? That's the reason why they want illegals in the country, is because it's cheap fucking labor. That's the reality of it, and that's not racist to fucking say it. At the same time, you have all of these psychos from different countries that have come in from, according to what Trump said, like prisons and insane asylums and stuff like that, and illegally immigrate into America, right? You know what that does? More crime. And the more crime a city has, and this is something we learned as fucking juggalos almost 10 years ago, the more crime that's in a city or in a town, the more funding that they get from the fucking government, which means more money that they get to fucking throw around and not do anything about the fucking crime that's going on. It's all a fucking money grab. See, here's the thing though, Chronic, with ACAB, yes, you're right. ACAB is the dumbest shit ever. See, the funny thing is, like, people on the left, they say all cops are bastards until they need cops. It's like what I said before, like people on the left will automatically assume that a Latino is a Democrat, and when they find out that they're a Republican, even if they are legally in the state, even if they do live in the country legally, they will threaten to fucking call the police on them and say that they're illegal. They'll also throw a lot of fucking slurs at them. It's fucking horrifying. Not to mention the cowardice of the fact that illegal workers are not protected by OSHA laws. It's lower than low. Yeah, 89. Remember that Coca-Cola raid that happened earlier this year? Boom. Over half of America knows this guy's a jackass. He's cooked. Oh, dude, he is cooked well done. Like he's burnt to a crisp.
I'm deeply proud that I had the...
See, concealing their identity is also the fact that in the wake of the shooting at the ICE Center, walking around with their badges and IDs on makes them a target. That's another point. That's a good point, Vampire Clown.
Like, we're being hyperbolic. If you're a black and brown community, it's here in this country. And so I'm deeply proud that I had the privilege of signing the nation's first bill to address the issue of masking. Also to require, you have simple identification, to your point. I mean, if some guy jumped out of an unmarked car in a van with a mask on, tried to grab me, I mean, by definition, you're going to push back. And so these are not just authoritarian tendencies. These are authoritarian actions.
No, they're not.
Authoritarian government.
No, they're not.
You saw what Stephen Miller said last week. This should put chills up fine. Called the Democratic Party an extremist organization.
At this point, yeah, look at the way your people have been acting since, like since George Floyd. Look at the way that your people have been acting since 2015. The last 10 years, a vast majority of problems that I have been seeing have been coming from people involving the left. You want to talk about you want to try to say that the Democratic Party is not an extremist organization now at this point? Fuck. Antifa, prime example. Those motherfuckers are far left extremists. If anything, Antifa is partially, if not the whole fucking part and parcel reason why Tyler Robinson did what he fucking did last, like what, 3 weeks ago? The way that you guys conduct yourselves on television, on ABC, MSNBC, CBS, PBS, CNN, the way that your party fucking conducts themselves. Hell, the way that the fucking Senate and the Congress fucking conducts themselves. Y'all are fucking children. When Al Green got fucking what was it that Al Green did? Like, he fucking interrupted the inauguration, and so they fucking put him under scrutiny or some shit like that in front of the entire Congress. And then to show that it meant nothing to him, at the end of it, he just stood up and sang "We shall prevail" with the rest of the fucking Democrats. When Congress, when Mike Johnson fucking asked for a moment of silence in remembrance of Charlie Kirk, every Democrat made noise. You people are fucking disrespectful. You people are fucking childish. And you people are fucking violent. And you want to talk about this bill that he recently fucking signed, right? I think it was like, what did they say it was? Prop 50? Okay, so let's take a look at what the University of Google has to say. Oh, that's for rigging elections. Nope, that's not it either. Trying to find this fucking prop that Okay, let's take a look at it. California mask ban. Okay. This is what it says. California's mask ban, enacted via Senate Bill 627, signed by Governor Gavin Newsom, prohibits most local and federal law enforcement, including ICE agents, from wearing masks while on duty, with exemptions for undercover operations, medical purposes, and the California Highway Patrol. The law was a response to recent immigration raids where masked federal agents made arrests, drawing comparison to secret police and prompting protests. The ban, however, is expected to face legal challenges, as legal experts and federal officials argue that states cannot regulate the uniforms or actions of federal agents, which I do believe is correct. Now, I actually went on good old Chat GPT to fucking bring this up. So, okay, so this is what I said to ChatGPT. Gavin Newsom recently signed a bill into state law in California that forbids government officials to wear masks. He claims this is to combat ICE agents from wearing masks if they come into California for deportation. I don't believe this will work because ICE is a federal agency. So this is what the response was. You're absolutely right to be skeptical. This law is drawing sharp criticism from legal scholars and federal officials for exactly the reason you pointed out. States have limited, if any, authority to regulate the conduct of federal agents performing on federal duties. Here's a breakdown of what's going on and what the obstacles are. What the law does. The law is Senate Bill 627, No Secret Police Act, signed by California Governor Gavin Newsom in September 2025. It prohibits law enforcement officers, including federal ones like ICE, from wearing masks or other facial coverings that hide the identity during official operations, with some exceptions, such as undercover work, medical masks, tactical gear, etc. The law is slated to take effect on January 1st, 2026. Violations can result in a misdemeanor, and enforcement might include civil damages, etc. Why it faces serious constitutional and practical challenges. Number 1. Supremacy Clause, federal preemption. Under the U.S. Constitution, federal law generally takes precedence over contrary state laws when the federal government is acting within its constitutional authority. This is the doctrine of federal preemption. When federal agents, like ICE, are executing federal duties under federal law, a state law that tries to curtail how those agents operate, like forcing them to unmask, risks being ruled invalid as applied to federal agents. Number 2. Lack of jurisdiction over federal actors. States lack authority to regulate core federal functions. Courts have historically held that a state cannot arrest or penalize a federal officer for doing their federally authorized duties, even if local laws conflict, unless Congress consents or the action doesn't interfere with federal operations. As one legal commentary puts it, state and local authorities have no power to arrest federal officers for official actions, no matter how questionable they may be. Number 3. Express rejection by DHS, federal refusal to comply. The DHS has publicly stated that it will not comply with the California mask ban, calling it unconstitutional. Probably for the reasons that I just mentioned. The acting U.S. attorney in Los Angeles also said that federal agents under his jurisdiction are instructed to ignore the law because the state of California has no jurisdiction to regulate anything that we do in the federal government. Number 4. Symbolic versus enforceable. Several commentators see this law largely as symbolic, a statement of California's opposition to what it regards as overreach or secret police tactics by federal agencies, rather than a rule than genuinely expect to see applied to ICE agents. If the federal government disregards it, there may be no practical consequences for ICE agents unless courts side with California, which is uncertain. Yeah, DB. Gavin Newsom signed a fucking bill to try to demask ICE agents. It's basically the only main reason why he put it into law. But it's a state law. And according to what this says, there's nothing that he can do because ICE is a federal agency. So then it says, its assessment, your skepticism is well-founded. While the law makes it a bold political statement and signals California's resistance to masked federal enforcement, it almost certainly will run into constitutional constraints and practical non-compliance by federal agencies. If push comes to shove, the matter would almost certainly be litigated, and a federal court would have to decide whether California can impose such a restriction on federal agents. My prediction is that a court will strike down the law as applied to federal agents, or hold it unenforceable in that context because of the supremacy and federal preemption principles. So I said, so Gavin Newsom, being the government of California, yes, he can sign bills into law for the state. However, state law does not supersede federal law. And considering that ICE is a federal agency, it does nothing to ICE. ICE can still come into California wearing masks. And ChatGPT agreed. How the fuck is it that just based off of common sense, I know more about law than fucking Gavin Newsom? And that motherfucker has been in government for how long? And I'm just some stupid asshole juggalo on the internet. And I know this shit. Like, that makes no fucking sense. Now, here's another thing, too. Apparently, he's also passing another law. This fucking beady-eyed demon. And, I mean, an illegal somehow became head of Board of Education in one state. Yeah, I saw that. I think Minnesota. Yeah, this dude spins more yarn than my fucking grandma. But anyways, yeah, so check this out. Another one from Claire Patriot.
Gavin Newsom may have just found a way to silence Spencer Pratt. California Democrats are trying to push through a censorship bill, and it's in the last stages. All that's left is to get Newsom's signature, and this bill is terrifying. So they're doing it in the name of historically marginalized groups. They're saying it's to prevent hate against these people, but in reality, they're just pushing forth a censorship bill that comes with steep fines. In the bill, it holds the social media platforms itself to these fines, and they can be between $500,000 to $1 million. Yes, each individual will not get these fines, but it's going to trickle down.
Basically, what that means is that, say I say something that violates this shit, right? Even though I'm not in California. Whatever I fucking say could put YouTube in trouble. Right? I won't get fined. But YouTube will. However, in order for YouTube to get its money back, they might take away my fucking income of whatever it is that I earn on here. And will continue to do so until the fine is paid. Or, if they find that it's not feasible enough, they could just shut down my channel. Right? That's basically what this is explaining.
If these big platforms are getting these fines on behalf of their users, of course they're going to start having some repercussions for the users. So this bill, don't take my word on it. Go look it up. It's SB 771. My problem with government censorship is it's subjective. So say a person posts something and these government officials find it hateful. They don't like what the person says. It doesn't matter if everybody else finds it to be that, because they're not the ones making the decision. They're not the ones issuing the fine.
Gee, does that sound like very authoritarian V for Vendetta kind of shit? Doesn't that sound like something that's going on across the pond in the UK? As a matter of fact, I did look up SB 771 and I found a video on it.
Major heat online tonight over a proposed California law. It attempts to hold social media companies accountable for threatening content.
But some conservative social media accounts and personalities have been warning that it could severely limit free speech and result in major penalties against people. KCRA3's political director Ashley Zavala is getting the facts on this proposal.
I mean, YouTube already has something like that. I mean, they have regulations and guidelines just like any other fucking social media app. Whereas, like, if you find somebody that's like threatening you and you do actually feel for your life, you report that motherfucker or you just block them. Or both. I know there was beef between him and Jay because of Nova, but I can't help but feel more people should listen to the song Brainwashed by Tom McDonald, especially the part about 2 minutes and 45 seconds into the song. Now, another song that you ought to listen to if you're going to be representing Tom McDonald, The Devil is a Democrat. Just the whole fucking song, especially you fucking Californians.
To silence us on social media.
A proposed California law is getting into the center of the free speech debate online. Former reality TV star turned political activist Spencer Pratt posting this video Thursday, urging people.
Let's see if we can read some of this stuff. X urges Governor Newsom to do the right thing by vetoing CASB 771. The bill holds social media platforms liable for penalties if their algorithms facilitate hateful content.
To call Governor Newsom to reject Senate Bill 771. The bill specifically targets major social media platforms such as Facebook and X. It would place up to $1 million fines and civil penalties for the role platforms could play in hate crimes by amplifying threatening content or using algorithms that push it. State law already punishes individual people who do so.
Gee, that sounds like the UK. Let's see. The California State Senate analysis clearly states this violates First Amendment rights of users and social media platforms. It's alarming that California
I would guarantee you
something
that Newsom thinks me calling him out for letting 12 senior citizens burn alive in Pacific Palisades, I would guarantee him and his social media team would consider that hateful content.
Okay, yeah, talking about the Palisades and shit. I guess some people probably died during the Pacific Palisades burn down, and basically Spencer Pratt is saying, yeah, if I were to say something about that under this new law, then they would try to take it down. Basically, in a way, it's like, yeah, they're trying to shut up Spencer Pratt.
In no way, shape, or form is that accurate.
Bullshit. It makes sense. And about 90% of the time, Republicans have been correct. Let's see. Oh, yeah, whichever the one he collabed with Ben Shapiro or Roseanne on. I mean, yeah. Same people that pushed to lock someone up for making music whom got 10 years in prison for making music. True story. Yeah, and they also try to censor us. You know? Gee.
Ed Howard is the senior.
Who decides what constitutes as hateful content? Things they don't like. And the left, to answer your question.
Legal counsel for the Children's Advocacy Institute at the University of San Diego School of Law. He helped Democratic lawmakers write the proposal.
Okay. The First Amendment protects offensive, salacious, insensitive, horrifying, terrible things that people say.
Yeah. It's supposed to. We are able to say whatever the fuck we want without worry about getting arrested or fined or something to that effect within reason. Slander, which the left violates most of the time that they open their mouth. And y'all motherfuckers have gotten away with it because we're just like, whatever, we don't care. We don't believe you. But still, what you're trying to fucking pull is disastrous to the First Amendment. And I don't understand how you don't see that.
Is in fact about the right of Mr. Pratt, the right of me, and the right of every single one of your viewers to be protected from threats of violence in response to his speech.
Yeah. You know what that reminds me of? You guys remember Captain America Civil War? After everybody gets arrested and Hawkeye's like, there he is, the savior. He'll protect you, whether you want him to or not.
If those threats of violence would legitimately and reasonably place a regular old person in fear for their lives or being harmed.
Is this an attempt to have the government dictate what social media companies can keep up or down?
No, it's the other way around. Look, one thing that ought to unite everybody on the political spectrum is nobody should be trusting the social media platforms to be.
I mean, to be totally honest, I trust the social media platforms a little bit more than I trust the government.
The guardians of our free speech.
Well, you see, here's the thing. Like Facebook allows us to say whatever the fuck they want. Right? X allows us to say whatever the fuck we want. YouTube allows us to say whatever the fuck we want. Instagram allows us to say whatever the fuck we want. TikTok allows us to say whatever the fuck we want. Snapchat allows us to say whatever the fuck we want. But some of these apps have certain algorithms that certain things that is being said is going to fucking shadow ban us. So that way less people will fucking see it rather than no people. You know, they're not necessarily banning us. Shadow banning is kind of a dick move, but it's not like we lose our fucking accounts because we said things that they don't like. And I worry that this SB 771 thing is going to fucking cause that to happen.
But social media companies are fighting the bill and have warned that it violates the First Amendment.
It does.
While the bill seeks to hold platforms accountable for egregious behavior, its structure risks sweeping and protected speech and imposing extraordinary penalties based on subjective judgments about user content, including content the platform did not create.
So, this is how I look at it, and I'm going to fucking full screen myself here for a second because I'm just going to explain this to you in the best way that I possibly can. What I think is the fact that Gavin Newsom wants to be president so fucking bad that he is doing things in the attempt to try to control certain aspects of American life. Whether it be this fucking bill that he signed, the no mask ban, the mask ban bill that he signed into law, which, as I explained, is not going to fucking work in the way that he thinks it's going to work. If anything, it's a waste of time and money, and I think deep down he knows that. And then there's this bill, which is basically to fucking censor people because, let's face it, Meta and Google, Alphabet, are the two biggest fucking social media companies with YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Threads. These are the two biggest heavy hitters in social media. And their parent locations is in Silicon Valley in California, right? So by him signing this bill, basically that means that the government ends up getting control over what it is that everybody on the internet is able to fucking say, especially since Facebook and YouTube are the two biggest social media platforms in the entire spectrum. YouTube is watched more than any other social media app out there. So as I said before, I could say something that the government, especially Gavin Newsom, doesn't like. I could get deplatformed because they could consider it hate speech, regardless as to whether or not I'm threatening Gavin Newsom or any other fucking government official. Because, words are violence according to the left. And anything negative that I fucking say, in accordance to them, could possibly run the risk of getting me banned. Why? Because this information is going to be on servers in California, right? So since it's on their soil and it's their state law, I could lose my shit, even though I'm not in California. If anything, this state law would really only apply to the constituents of California, and if they say something negative, which could get them shut down. I think that that's the limitation. But in Gavin Newsom's mind, it's anybody who uses the system that is in the state of California. That is a high amount of fucking violation of our First Amendment rights. And I think he's so obsessed with wanting to be president, not to fix the country, but for the control of the American people. You saw him in the flesh, in the scaly reptilian flesh, on the Stephen Colbert Show. And I think that that's all it is. He just wants fucking control. Now, there is an easy solution to that. Now, here's the thing. If it's only in the state of California, you know what that means? X isn't affected, and neither is TikTok. TikTok has recently been purchased by an American company. There is an American board of directors for TikTok, and it's now parented by Oracle, which is in Texas. X has been moved out of California and is also in Texas. So the limitations of a California state bill does not reach outside of California, which means Texas, since X and Oracle are in Texas, those are unaffected. So if anybody tries to violate that state law, SB 771, on X or TikTok, and they try to sue, well, there's nothing that they can do except get countersued. YouTube and Facebook, all they have to do is they just have to move all their shit out of California. And then guess what? Everybody has free speech again. I just think it's fucking hilarious. All in all, Gavin Newsom's a fucking idiot. And all this really is, to me, is just a reach for power. And yeah, since let's see, I don't remember who was it at the very beginning of the show that was talking about this, but yeah, there was some shit. I might as well go ahead and try to fucking wrap this up as fast as I can. But there was some shit that ended up fucking going down, which I found very interesting.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Hi, everybody. That breaking news continues from the Grand Blanc Township and now Burton areas just north of the Metro Detroit area. I'm going to step out of the way. I'm sure you've heard by now there was a mass shooting at the Church of the Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc Township.
That's
10
insane.
people were shot. One is dead. The shooter also shot and killed by police. What you're looking at right now is a map of where that church is, again, in the Grand Blanc Township area. There were people inside of the church when all of this happened. The suspect rammed his vehicle through the front doors of the church, got out, and then started shooting. You're now looking at video from the scene here. Again, 10 people were shot. One was shot and killed. 2 or 3 others are in critical condition.
As George Carlin once said, this was most likely a disgruntled worshiper. Which is interesting because it's the Church of Jesus Christ and the Latter-day Saints. Those are very nice fucking people, though.
On top of the shooting, though, this suspect, a 40-year-old from Burton, also started a fire inside of the church.
What the fuck?
We got an update from the Grand Blanc Township Police Chief. He said they are expecting to find more victims of the shooting.
Well, I guess that's one way to fucking get rid of the evidence.
Investigators can get into areas of the church that they originally couldn't get into because that fire was ongoing. We did talk to the chief about what the next steps are, and that is getting a search warrant and getting into the victim's home. The suspect's home.
We have investigated.
Dude, that is fucking nuts. So you ram through the door, you shoot a bunch of people, then set the church on fire. I think that's a little overkill.
We're gonna do.
This guy is a lolcow. You keep saying that word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
Search warrants on the suspect's residence. We're gonna find out if there was.
But thank you for watching. It really helps my algorithm. Make sure to fucking thumb it up or down. I don't care.
Motive. We're going to go through cell phone records, things like that. We had FBI, they're devoting 100 agents to this area because, as you could imagine, there's a lot of witnesses that were within the church, and that is a lot of witness information, statements that we have to obtain.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume this did happen on a Sunday.
All right, now back out here live. We are not actually at the church. We are near the suspect's home. Now, we have confirmed through sources that there were IEDs found inside of the suspect's vehicle. And now here outside of the home, as they get that search warrant and a way to go inside, the Michigan State Police bomb squad has shown up.
Damn.
Photographer Marty is behind the lens here. If we can zoom into the back of that truck, you can see a robot is now being offloaded. That'll be one of the tools that they will use to go inside of the suspect's home to see what's happening there. It is a very safe assumption that if explosives were found inside of the suspect's vehicle, then they could likely find the similar situation inside of the suspect's home.
Like, this is just fucking nuts. Like, I can't believe that this type of shit would actually happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's just... Dude, this has been one of the craziest past 2-3 weeks of shit that I have ever fucking seen. Like, it just raises the question, has it always been this bad? Or are we just noticing it now? I live in a rural town just southwest of Grand Blanc. All the emergency responders were leaving to go help. Dude, this is fucking nuts. Now, what's fucking weird to me, though... So... What's fucking weird to me is I was on TikTok, and the other day I came across somebody who hasn't really been on YouTube in quite a while, but you know, I'm still kind of friends with her, and she ended up fucking talking about her neck of the woods, which actually also isn't very far away from that.
Has anyone else noticed that the crime is up since Trump got in office?
Now, this is the stupidest thing, though, is like she blames everything on Trump. Like, that's the dumbest shit. And half the shit that she says isn't necessarily fucking, like, really thought over before she even hits record. But, like, she talks about her fucking small town surrounding the Flint area as well.
I've noticed that.
Uh-huh.
It's like bad. Like, people are scared that they're not going to be able to afford their cost of living, so they're doing crime. Like, there's, like, people in my apartment complex have gotten their wheels stolen. Like, 2 or 3 different people. And some of us have gotten their, gas tank, drilled holes into and ruined. And people,
Well, yeah, I mean, gas is a little high. Well, I mean, not so much now. I mean, I've been seeing it hovering below $3 a gallon, so I'm happy about that.
stole their gas. And then it's happened in other complexes in my city. And last night somebody got stabbed at the dumpster here.
Damn. Like, okay, so Grand Blanc, y'all have, like, I think according to the 2020 census, it had like a population of about 4,000 to 4,500 people. She lives in a smaller town about half that size. And this shit's fucking happening.
Guy was taking his girlfriend's trash out. I don't know if he lives with his girlfriend or if he just visits his girlfriend here. But he got stabbed taking the trash from that apartment out.
Uh-huh.
And it was a minor injury. So people are desperate. He was trying to get him to give him his wallet, but he probably didn't have his wallet even on him. Now you can't even go outside of your apartment complex at night for fear of getting robbed. And you can't even leave your you can't even you gotta watch, or someone will steal your wheels or do anything just to make a buck. The crime is up.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, that kind of happens. But I don't think that it has anything to do with fucking Trump. Like, and this entire video, she blames Trump. My point of bringing this up was the fact that it was weird because this was already going to be on the show, and then this thing happened at that church, and so I looked it up, and I was like, okay, I know where she's from. The church is in Grand Blanc. Both of these cities are in a general area. They're all around Flint. And Flint is another one of those cities that has kind of become more blue than red. Same thing with Saginaw. Detroit is an obvious one. Lansing. Here in Grand Rapids, though, we're a little bit more red than that. And, well, things are relatively peaceful around here. I really think that says something, don't you think? I hate to say it, but the more blue you are, the worse it's going to be. Maybe you should really start fucking thinking about whether or not you're going to start voting red. All right, yeah, you're tiresome. Yeah, have fun with that. Anyways, to quote Slipknot, it is the sad fact that lately people equal shit. I know, right? It's been getting out of control. And people have become pretty shitty fucking people. But my point basically was like, with this, I was going to mock it, but then after that, I got tired of them. Anyways, so fucking, I found that interesting because, like I said, you know, I was already going to play her fucking clip and kind of like poke fun at it. Which, by the way, girly, write your shit down if all you're going to do is just fucking stutter and stammer throughout the majority of your video. You really save yourself some good fucking time. But then when this church thing fucking popped up, and I heard about that shit like this morning, and I was like, wow. Things are starting, like, that does create a little bit of validity on what she was saying about crime rates rising and stuff like that. And then after that, I decided to cross-reference that with, like, the election shit. And I found that interesting because there has been this rumor going around with, like, a lot of these cities and stuff like that. Even though there are red states, the cities are still fucking blue. So, dumb fucking troll that I just recently blocked from the chat. Yes, you're right. The state of Michigan did vote red. However, that does not mean that all the cities are fucking red. Michigan is a swing state after all. We tend to change our minds from time to time. The thing, though, about that is, like, major cities usually are left-leaning. And I've also correlated that the more blue a city is, the more crime there has been. There's a reason why, over the last couple of weeks, ICE has been doing raids in a lot of major blue cities. They started with DC, they went to Chicago. They're going to be going to other cities like Colorado because that had those, you know, those illegal immigrants that ended up fucking taking over those fucking apartment complexes. Obviously, California is going to be at one point. Boston, Massachusetts is probably going to be another one. There will be people online applauding someone burning down a church with innocent people inside. I'm scared for society. The big population centers are usually blue. Everyone knows it. Right. And sometimes it's like the population outside of those cities, for the most part, can be big enough to keep those fucking states the way that they are supposed to be. Some states do end up tending to be a little bit more permanent than others, and over time we have seen different states turn into swing states. Michigan has been a swing state as far as I've paid attention. But I look at this situation when it concerns like what's going around in Genesee County. And if what she's saying is true with even as small a town as she lives in, and now the crime rate's starting to spike up there, there is something that's fucking going on that I don't know. Right now I can't even put my fucking finger on it. But I'm definitely not going to blame Trump. I am going to, on the other hand, blame certain circumstances. Because let's face it, Trump being president did not create violence. Trump being president did not create crime. And the way that she's painting this shit makes it sound like that's exactly what it is. Unfortunately for my friend, she also has TDS. And I'm pretty sure her mom did a lot of Tylenol. But you know what? That's it for me. I'm once again an hour ahead of my time. I've got to get the fuck up out of here. So thank you guys for coming in watching. Thank you for participating up in the chat, keeping things preoccupied and interesting for the most part. And got to give a shout out to Juan Hernandez for that $5 super chat once again. Appreciate that shit, homie. All right, I'm going to get the fuck up out of here. You guys have a good night. I will be back next week with another one. So I'm out this bitch. Deuces. See you next week. Yeah, definitely. You know what? Sailor Saturn is the one that you ought to be fucking focused on. If anything, that guy was wrong. I'm more into Juliet Starling cosplay. All right. See ya.